I'm still like piecing together my battle station here, but feel free to leap on into whatever we need to do. And
Okay, so I'll go while you're doing that. I'll kind of give the recap and everything and what's been going on.
Our last time on These
right.
Fuck-Ups Are Saving the World.
Perhaps.
I mean, we're doing something.
Yeah, something did happen.
Yeah, no, something did happen. That was definitely a thing that happened.
So you guys were roused in the very early morning and informed of an emergency situation at the estate where the process of translation that your organization typically relies upon to visit other dimensions and mine them for technology and et cetera, no longer works, leaving a bunch of the estate agents stranded out among the myriad recursions and essentially limiting the estate's overall effectiveness at staving off extra-dimensional threats.
This is what is known as a bad thing.
Right. So you linked up with a Quiet Cabal operative from, originally from Earth, but who's been living on Rook for quite some time, named Brett Holian, who
Welcome to Earth.
escorted you guys through a translation gate to Rook itself, where you met up with Shalumdar, a representative of the Quiet Cabal, who gave you some background on the situation and basically explained to you that they thought there was a connection between translation ceasing to work and a series of simultaneous murders that happened en route within the time frame of the same morning. And the challenge is that the murders seem to be occurring when people link up to the All Song, which is like Rook's version of the internet. It's essentially like a centralized or a decentralized hub for like thoughts, ideas, emotions, even stuff like that can be shared between Rookians on that recursion. So because they're used to using that for everything and have kind of developed a crutch for it, the Quiet Cabal wanted you guys to come in as estate reps who weren't used to that kind of thing to sort of do an actual on-the-ground investigation. And that's kind of where we left things off. I believe you guys had talked it out with Shalumdar and Brett and come to the conclusion that you were going to start off by trying to get a look at the actual physical sites.
We sure were.
Unfortunately, that information is being held by the Unified Choir, whose researchers were the ones who were murdered, and hasn't been released as of yet. So, doing so, I think you guys decided would mean actually going to like visit their headquarters in person and try and either beg, borrow, or steal that information away.
Indeed, with our apparent leader, Floyd. Give me 1 second. Someone just found himself a toilet paper roll.
Okay.
Brutus.
All right. Very important that we save the TP.
He's just trying to get into the game.
This is his breakaway session.
Yeah. Not now. Now Joe's gone, so he's gonna go get on the screen.
Yep. Here he comes.
He's in the
Here he comes.
I mean, Evan's been joined by his co-conspirator in crime, as well as someone in the back room behind him.
Sam.
Which is great.
Yeah, I've got this little terrorist kitten with me, and she loves the fucking cable mess that is the back of my desk. So if I like get a panicked expression and just dive under my desk, it's because
she's sabotaging you.
Yeah.
That's all we've been waiting for.
I have returned.
Sam, this is the...
Hi,
Hello.
Hello.
Joe.
This is the nerd group.
Nice to meet you all.
This is the nerd group. Sam is very supportive of the
It's
of
fine.
the
I'm
Cypher
about
stuff.
to play some Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, did you get
Nice.
the Insane Trilogy?
I did.
Nice.
It's insane.
That
Frustrating.
damn dance. That damn dance.
Truth in advertising. That's always good.
Okay, so I press the middle button.
All right, so Floyd would like to take an untraditional approach in this and would like to connect to the L song, please.
Okay.
So your next character.
So the I mean, how serious was that? Because you can totally do that.
No, not at all. I don't want to die.
All right.
Not yet, anyway.
I kind of want him to die. Can we connect him against his will?
I mean, yeah,
Or-
you could do that too,
Force it on him.
right? So that's where basically like the last moment we left off on was you guys kind of making that decision, and Shalundar hooked you up with his contact information, and you guys were kind of left rocking and rolling in their conference room, after your conversation with him. So really, where you strike out from there is entirely up to you guys.
All right, we immediately go home and then like take a nap.
All right.
Naps.
Back to Earth. Let's just head back to that gate. And
No.
then-
All 100% done with this bullshit.
I don't want to head back. I've got a shotgun arm right now.
That's
oh
true. Yeah,
jeez.
it's like we all changed when we went through here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, are you integrating weaponry?
No, it's he didn't change his
Oh,
that's just how the shotgun translated.
right.
Same
I've
with
got
the
like
whips.
my anti-tentacles are in me now.
Yep.
Yeah. They're inside you.
Ooh.
So they were whips on Earth, and they're like weird hentai tentacle things on Root.
My armor's just all crustacean-y and
Yeah. Which are
Chrysalid.
you? Do you have it like on now, or have you like retracted it into?
no. Everyone on Rook looks like this, so I'm fine here.
I mean, yeah, that's true. You don't stand out that much actually with the armor on.
Just
Yeah. So there you are.
Excellent. What are you growling at?
The paper towel roll. You didn't get
Yeah,
it.
no,
to
I
him.
already retrieved that, but now he's like in the corner growling at the wall.
Oh, ghosts.
Ghosts. Yep, probably.
All right. Yeah, we were gonna go find some shit, weren't we? That was the plan.
Yeah, you're the one who said you were the leader, so Nick's just sitting back and watching this train wreck.
The finding shit.
All right. I need a little more specificity.
I believe we were going in the main town to the headquarters of this place, trying to pass us off as something official, so
Yeah.
that we can get the information. Somebody was going to spin his identity and hopefully do a better chance, and not get just cold cocked and no.
Okay. So finding the Unified Choir headquarters that's a matter of public record. It's not very difficult. And neither is traveling to it. It takes you about 20 or 30 minutes to traverse the city, to the actual headquarters on foot. Let me drag the player tag over to
Hold on real quick. Be right there.
the new map. Sure. And
And I'm back.
throw you guys some. Your actual positioning might not be that important yet, but I'm going to throw some tokens on there anyway. And apparently fuck up the location of that door. So I'm
I
gonna
can't
fix
see
that.
shit.
You might have to zoom out and then reposition the map.
Resizing is definitely a necessity.
The big black box has now got a.
And I've got it.
And, yep. All right. So I've put some tokens down there for you guys.
It is not letting me grab mine.
Really?
Yeah, we can't. Oh, hang on. Maybe. No, I can't. I can't grab my toe.
Then maybe you guys try and throw them out there.
How?
You drag. So you go to your character in your journal, and then you. Just
Oh yeah,
click and
that's
drag
exactly
it
how you
out.
do it.
Yeah. Floyd figured it out.
Floyd figured the fuck
I
it.
mean, if Floyd can figure it
He
out.
figured
Man,
the
I
fuck
battled
out of it.
fucking Waifu. Yeah, I know.
He's flying. Okay. So, as you enter, let me expand this a little bit. All right. So, as you step into the atrium of the Unified Choir headquarters, you're greeted by the light tinkling of synthesized music. Almost like, weird elevator music kind of stuff. It's just sort of meant to be there, create ambiance. A beam of kind of like greenish soothing light washes over you as soon as you step through the door. Inside, there's a really high-ceilinged hall that you see stretching out away from you, with 2 rows of like oblong cylindrical pillars that meet up at the top into like a more sort of angular archway. So essentially creating like a giant causeway that stretches all the way down from the big entry door all the way down to the end of the hall. Where there's like a raised dais, and there's a woman there at a desk. At this distance, she appears to be very pretty. She kind of stands out because she's got golden skin, like head to toe, just completely, almost looks like she was spray painted gold. What else? Oh, you can see there's like actually quite a few people kind of milling about the area, be they faction members who you can identify because they're all wearing the same gown with the same pattern. The emblem that they wear is kind of like a double helix pattern, like a DNA pattern, but spinning out into fractal images.
All about these fractals. I'm so down.
Yes. What else? Oh,
Satan cracking.
As people come up to the desk, she's like directing them either to wait at one of the couches, like in the center of the causeway, or into one of the 2 doors behind her, either to the left or right. Along that causeway, you'll see there are kind of like holographic imaging panels in front of each one of those pillars that are displaying a series of different images you could inspect and get a closer look at potentially and find out what's going on with those. And then, yeah, like I said, the things here in the center that I will ping, if I can, yeah, like the stuff there. Those are all like pairs of couches with small, like kind of low, like almost coffee table looking things in between them.
Like the famous table from Men in Black.
Yes, there you go.
That you want to get up on the table.
And so besides that, just the general appearance of the hall is very kind of grand. Like it's the golden sort of and blue color scheme matches the gowns and even the skin of the receptionist. And you'll notice that everyone else who's wearing the faction gown in the room is, they're also golden skinned individuals. But yeah, so like
Floyd, I have foreseen a problem in your pretending to be one of them plan.
Oh, I just have to paint myself gold. That's easy.
So no one seems to really take notice of you, so you guys are just kind of standing and sort of watching this, this sort of scene.
Remind me if I'm wrong too. They are not like they don't want us investigating this.
So what Shalumdar told you is that there's currently a debate right now in the Factal Council about whether or not they would allow the Myriand, which is effectively like the Rukian police force, or like a team of representatives from different factions to investigate it. Right now, the Unified Choir wants to do it all in-house. They're saying that it was just a routine problem with like their... like a malfunction while they were, researching, and it's not connected to the translation issue, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. So, whatever, Joe, whatever, freaking Nick. I don't have any gold paint.
You don't have any. You do not have any gold paint.
This is gonna be an issue.
This is gonna be fun.
Can you skin someone and give me their skin?
All right, be right back.
BRB skinning.
Probably should get a couple.
I mean, we don't have to turn from here. You can try fast talking your way and saying that like we're the initial exploratory council looking for from the Myriad looking for like a tour of the facility, and then we sneak off, or knock out the tour guide and sneak off, or.
I would say, do Have you seen yourself? You're just gonna sneak off? No one's gonna notice you? Sneaking off?
Nick just
Tiptoeing-
points to
tiptoeing
like the
around?
3 battle chrysalids that are walking around in the background.
Yeah, but you think they're gonna be back there where everyone's gold and pretty?
Battle chrysalids are everywhere, man. Are you racist against chrysalids? Do we have to
Only a
have
little
this kind of
bit.
conversation, Floyd?
I'm just thinking. I watch you tiptoe around, see what happens. All right, do we want to rock the? We are the exploratory. We want a tour. That's some butts. That's a
But
butts
then-
excuse.
Then you're the one. This is literally your ballywick. Go ballywick.
Did you see how well it worked last time?
Wick the bell. I know. I love watching you get shot at. Do you not understand this, Floyd?
Oh,
You say it went perfect.
time out. Floyd didn't get shot at. Floyd convinced him not to shoot at him.
Shoot at everybody else.
Yeah, we all kind of got shot at.
I didn't.
And then you threw
I got
pizza at the
some-
guy.
I got some pizza and called it a day.
If I hadn't tanked that doormat like a champ.
Oh, doormats.
That explains your name change.
Yeah.
Completely forgot who he was.
Or remembered. Like, has been calling himself Aldous and went, wait a minute. That's not my name.
All right. So we're here for our initial kind of just. We're not investigating, but we're sent by the Myriad.
Myriad's the police force, the Fractal Council's the head of everybody.
Myriand. I'm probably
Myriand?
dropping
Sorry.
some syllables here or there, but
Myriad. Got it. So
The Tim.
we're with the Myriad, and we're just doing a obligatory tour of the location.
Obligatory tour.
Yes,
Part of the
we have to.
ongoing debate.
All right. Ooh, obligatory. That's what it's gonna be called. All right. Boys
This
are
is
going.
Surely this cannot go wrong.
Boys are going.
So, fast
So
forward
you-
in half an hour, we'll be fighting our
you're-
way through halfway this building.
you're approaching the desk.
Yep.
Are you guys going up with him, or is he going up by himself?
We're going up, but like hanging back because I don't want.
What could happen?
You can move yourselves, like put yourselves where you would feel comfortable
I'm
standing.
gonna hang out right here. Actually, I'm gonna park my battle chassis right here on this couch.
So
Okay.
that's the desk is all the way up at the top, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not even really spinning anything. This is just the truth.
I'm sitting with Nick.
But we're not working for the Myriad, so this is not the truth.
It is
I don't know what
Floyd.
Floyd's opinions of the truth is, but
Okay. So you walk up to the desk, and the woman greets you. She kind of looks up with a smile, and you can see that like you thought from way back at the other end of the room. She is pretty lovely. She's got like long dark hair and green eyes, which would seem to kind of clash with the gold skin, but she kind of pulls it off. And she just has this smile in her eyes, like she seems to really love her work. And she looks up at you and says, "Welcome to the Unified Choir headquarters. How would you like to become a superior you today?"
Oh God, I wasn't expecting that.
All of the way.
There's so many good answers to this.
Not there. I can't say.
Actually, Floyd is feeling pretty good today. I've been sent by the Myriad as part of the investigation into the situation that I won't go into further details about. And my colleagues and I, the two back there at the couches, have been sent to just kind of take a tour so we can get a feel for the grounds and the layout, and potentially talk to maybe one person just to make sure that it really is just it was just a mistake and maybe a mishandling of some information.
So you see her expression kind of as soon as you mention like incident sort of go from a like her cheery kind of sales pitchy vibe to sort of like a more closed, concerned demeanor. And she says, "Official Myriad business. Do you have any sort of paperwork or documentation to, do you have a warrant to be
Flash your estate badge.
investigating the property?
I do, in fact, and I do wish to flash some form of the estate badge quickly, and be like, "This is all we need." Again, we're not here to, go in depth. We just want to make sure that it really is just sort of a mistake. It's not a big deal.
She go ahead and give me an intelligence check. So she seems very kind of skeptical, and catches that you just sort of like flash the badge and then put it away, and so she's a little skeptical. That sounds like a roll. But
She
yeah.
Hey.
She also kind of you get the vibe from her that she doesn't want to. It's less outright suspicion towards you and more of just like nervousness about not wanting to screw this situation up. So she says, "I can't let you back into the facility proper without clearing it with my supervisor first, but I will speak to him and let him know what sort of business you're on. I invite you to, check out the displays while you're waiting. It won't be very long, I promise you. We won't keep you waiting, and I'll be back with some information, after he fills me in."
Thank you. We'll be right
Yeah,
here.
guys.
So she disappears back into the door on like the left of the map there that I just pinged, and yeah, so she takes off for a little bit.
I just want to update these two fools on what she said, and that she's going to find her superior, which may mean potentially trouble.
She's got a panic button underneath the desk.
Hey, she didn't hit the panic button yet.
You didn't see it.
She wouldn't have left if she hit the panic button.
She might have left if she hit the bang button.
Let's go see if there's a panic button.
Oh, look.
How many panic buttons do I see?
Oh,
All of them. They're all red.
you're going up to look behind the desk?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I am.
Oh, Al's going.
All right, so Al goes up to look behind the desk.
Yeah.
He gets electrified and dies.
Just a quick,
Give
So for his
me-
next character.
Yeah, so you look back there and you see that there is kind of a display feed of cameras but they just appear to be for the lobby itself. You don't see camera feeds for anywhere else. There's like a small kind of personal computer terminal with just scheduling information on it, shift, like her personal shift information, et cetera, and not much else there. You can see some pricing guides and stuff like that. Outside of that, though, you don't see any sort of nothing immediately jumps out at you as being like, "Oh, this is a panic button" or anything like that.
I don't
And-
see any illuminated surfaces.
No.
If there's a PC, did you see either Torrid and or warning messages sent to the email?
As like nothing. No, nothing immediate. Like nothing that you, upon glancing at the desk, happen to see.
Floyd feels pretty confident in his spinning of identity.
Did you?
All right.
Did you use
I'm gonna
spin
go-
identity?
What was that?
I don't remember you saying you did that.
Hey,
Was that supposed to be spin identity?
no, because Floyd believes it to be true, so it's no spinning of identity if it's true.
All right. Okay, so after
I'm saving it
about
for that bitch, that supervisor.
after about 5 minutes, she comes back out and kind of motions you forward, and says, "So my supervisors would like to speak with you in private, if possible, before they agree to anything like a tour. Is that
Sure.
something that you would be amenable to?"
This is how episode 1 started. We're all gonna get locked in a room and gassed.
I say yes because the whole point is
All right.
that this is
Yep.
what we're doing.
True.
We're not suspicious.
No, definitely not.
Look at this guy. How could he be suspicious? Yeah, no, we can definitely meet with your supervisors.
Okay. So she brings you guys back a ways beyond that door to the left. So I have to do some revealing. Um, okay. Now, she essentially brings you into the first like smaller room here. I didn't go into the minutia, but it's a very basic like office kind of scenario. Again, same deal. One desk, a chair behind the desk, two chairs in front of the desk, and behind the desk, there's a man who has the same. He wears the same gown that the other folks did, but he doesn't have the golden skin.
See, we don't need the gold skin.
And let's see.
This is good information to have.
He.
Roll
So
initiative.
the difference with his the only difference with his gown is that it has like a kind of like a triangle pattern running down one side of it. So he's also when you first look at him, he appears to have long hair, but in actuality, as you take a second glance, it's like a stream of cables that run from his like that seem to be embedded into his scalp, and like large goggles that are currently slid up from his eyes but could be slid down, and running down his back, like down the back of his gown. He's tall and lanky, but has like a really kind of cutting glare. Yeah, and so that's who greets you there. He, tells you to sit down. I think he seems a little surprised, as does the woman from behind the desk, the receptionist, at the fact that three of you come into the room. So there's kind of like a little bit of a break in that glare, as he's like, oh wow, like he seems like he definitely expected to only be dealing with one person. But you guys file in. He doesn't really seem to be too disturbed by it. He says,
No,
welcome.
she was on the other foot.
You're my Ashumi says you're official Myriand operatives.
That's correct. We've been sent because obviously there's been some things going on. So we just want to make sure that nothing is criminal in these acts, and that it is just like we've been informed that it's a mishandling of some information and technology, and that it won't happen again.
I was informed that the council had decided so far that the Unified Choir would be allowed to handle this investigation internally. Do you have any official documentation reversing that decision?
Hold on real quick. So spinning identity makes them believe what? I just want to pull up the rule book.
You should be able to pull it up from your character sheet and click on the information symbol next to the ability, and it should pop it right into the chat window. There you go.
Oh, genius. Okay. So I am going to want to spin. Not yet. We don't have any,
why not yet?
because I'm not trying to convince him of any. He believes we're with the Myriand. He's just asking if anything's been changed over. So let's see if I can talk my way into that first. He's not questioning
Okay.
He's not questioning who we are right now.
True, but I think there's something other than what you actually are, could imply to, actually being assigned to come here kind of situation.
I guess that's a rule question for that, because it says something other than who you actually are, but I can't convince him of, my estate is a signed overturning of this decision, right?
So you want to use spin identity to do what exactly?
So he was asking if I had anything that was signed overturning the decision.
Yeah, so you can get him to believe, if he doesn't already, that you are with the Myriand. or that you are someone else, as long as your appearance doesn't completely belie that. So it's more for like affiliation, allegiance,
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that for the most part. It's not an allusion to the effect that you can hand them a blank sheet of paper.
Yeah,
Like,
okay,
here's my
that's what I
papers.
thought.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to spend. Like I said, he's not questioning if we're with the Marion. He's questioning if we have some official documentation overturning it. So that's why I'm not spending identity.
So he is waiting for an answer, however.
Okay. Yes.
The pause is becoming pregnant.
Okay. Sorry about that. We don't have any official overturning because it's not necessarily an official investigation into the occurrences. The higher ups, some of the higher ups are afraid that there's more going on, and they've sent us just to really assuage their fears. Yeah, my ability to speak is great for Floyd. And so that's why we're in plain clothes. We're not dressed up. No one knows that we're with them, with the Marion, because we're not trying to draw attention to you.
He, like, an expression of sort of consternation furrows his brow, and then he kind of slams a fist down on his desk and says, "You're not talking about the damn translation incident again, are you? I've told them 1,000,000 times. One has nothing to do with the other."
They are not convinced, and they just want some proof, something that really puts their fears to rest.
At this point, there's the door kind of slides open again, and another gentleman enters. This guy is a bit shorter. He's bald. Kind of has like a stockier build. But he has like a large kind of servo mechanical arm, sort of like extending from his back, that seems to kind of like poke at the air on occasion, like every couple of seconds or so, almost like a sensory organ, like, something tasting the air with its tongue or something like that. That's the sort of the impression that the movement gives you. He looks over the situation and then says, "And who might you folks be?" Seems kind of surprised to see you there.
We are a sort of small task force with the Marians to just put some fears to ease about the translation incident. We've been invited back here to kind of discuss it with, sorry, I don't remember his name, the supervisor here. And we've just been sent to really, like I said, appease our superiors in that this is just a mistake, misunderstanding at best.
He nods at that and says, "And I'm sure Yamada didn't introduce himself or anything like that, given that he has the manners of a servitor drone."
Sorry, I'm writing down the name. You said Yamada, right?
Yeah.
Cool. It's okay. There's no need for formalities. We're here just like I said, just to appease our superiors. They've sent us. I know that the council has said that there's no need for an investigation from outside forces, but you know how it goes. People are afraid.
He sort of bows slightly to you and says, "Yes, I certainly understand. My name is Kawaka Ra, and you are talking currently to Yamata Tour. We are the co-heads of the research division that was involved in what we believe to be a series of murders." And you see that as these words leave his lips, Yamada's eyes sort of bulge a little bit at that. He says, starts to kind of stammer, "Kawaka, what are you?" And he sort of holds up a hand and cuts him off. He says, No. This is it's about time we brought in eyes from the outside. We need somebody to be able to confirm this for us. He says, "Let's bring some more chairs in here, and we'll have you guys seated." He takes a step out, and in a second or two, the receptionist is back. And mind you, like, it's pretty crowded in the room now. It's a very tiny room. he brings chairs in for everybody.
Thank you.
And once everyone is seated, he says, we've been trying to keep this research project under wraps. It's the most prestigious thing that we've been, that Yamada or I have ever worked on in our careers. And we think that the Church of Embodiment doesn't like what we're working on and is trying to sabotage us. That's what we think is happening here.
So,
The Church of what?
Church of Embodiment.
Give me 1 second.
And so you have you retain essentially a lot of memories from the like fabricated but not fabricated memories for the Rukian you translate into. That's just how translation works. This is the first time you've experienced it, but you were briefed about it in training. Essentially, even though that guy wasn't created until you stepped through the gate, he's lived here his whole life and has a lifetime of memories to show for it. So you know that the Church of Embodiment is probably the largest single faction on Rook. And they are the ones who are the biggest proponents of searching for what Rookians call the true code. These people have been genetically modifying themselves for so long, grafting themselves for so long, changing everything about themselves that it's a widely held belief that they're not even sure what they're really supposed to look like or be anymore. And the Church of Embodiment is like all about that quest of recapturing Rukian purity, the essence of what it means to really be Rukian, and repairing all the damage to their knowledge of their genome, so that they can like reclaim what they are. Can you check? So yeah, sorry, I got a little distracted typing.
No,
in
yeah,
the chat
I figured.
for
I thought
Joe,
it
but
was-
that's basically what you know about the Church of Embodiment. They're slavishly devoted to this pursuit. I mean, I shouldn't say that all of them are. Just like any other church, there are zealots, and then there are people who just show up on Sundays. And the Church of Embodiment is quite the same.
Okay. So, understanding the sort of care we need to take with the situation, especially with this kind of accusation to the largest faction. Without going into too much detail, why do you think the Church of Embodiment is behind this?
Hold on a second.
Yeah. We can take care of
It's
Joe real
all
quick.
just black screen and no sound.
That is weird. Does top right hand corner? Does it say let the site use?
He says he can't hear. Let this.
I'll be right back while we're taking care of
Yeah,
this.
I don't see the option you're talking about, Joe.
When you first really sign in, it's gives you there's a pop up saying allow website to have access to your camera and speakers.
Well, and he's got broadcast and receive video and voice selected for both.
Yeah, he said that it is.
Site that.
Damn.
Floyd? Oh no, we got to go fight immediately. Not
So
out of
we're
it.
here to investigate something, but people on
No,
we're,
we're all
Test,
talking.
we're talking.
test.
Joe. Test.
test.
You can see the board now, but can't hear anything.
It's an automaton. This will be Floyd's musical instrument.
That's so weird that it's not letting him do that shit.
Please, dear Lord, no.
Wah, wah.
That was his big finale.
And then Floyd died. Forever. Never to be seen from again.
Damn, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell him.
Reboot that browser, close everything, do it again.
What browser is he on? Let's find that out.
If I've learned anything from the IT crowd, it's he needs to turn it off, turn it back on.
True.
So now Edge and Explorer have problems with the site. Chrome is the best one that they support. Firefox is
I think he
middling.
uses Chrome.
Every time I try to use Safari, it's like, don't do that.
Oh, yeah, because you're using Safari. Mac user. Ugh.
Yeah, I figured it'd be Chrome. Shit.
Restart the whole browser. It fucks with me a fair amount, and I have to reconnect, and then it works.
Couldn't you hear us before?
Yeah, and he could talk before too. Like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, we muted him because he was on like a phone call or whatever. Ten times.
10 times. Exactly 10 times.
It's weird. It hasn't shown him disconnecting.
It has a couple times, but
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
I don't have to like. What the fuck?
No, there shouldn't be anything you need to do.
Right. I want to. Oh.
weird.
Yeah, I literally don't know what the
Yeah.
fucking deal is
He's
with
just
that.
gonna have to keep trying it.
Yeah,
Not much you can do, Connor.
chat there.
And then did he reset player video and avatar location? Just reset fucking everything. Huh.
going into the wiki.
Dust wikis.
Yeah, I mean, it literally tells you to clear out Chrome's cache as part of their troubleshooting. So, I don't know. He says he did that though, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Honestly, shoot him the link to the wiki. He is a relatively intelligent boy.
He's just gonna have to relaunch it and dig with his settings until it
Yeah.
works.
Word. Okay, so Floyd had a question. I'm sorry, man. Can you repeat that?
Ah, shit.
I
Give me
hope.
2 seconds.
I-
Oh, yeah, maybe not as eloquently, but we'll see if I can get back in there.
I think it was
Uh,
why the
Yeah, so with the seriousness and care that's required, why do you think that the Church of Embodiment is is behind these the sabotaging?
He leans forward, almost conspiratorially, and says, because the research that we were working on would effectively have put a damper in their work. We'll put it that way. What the Unified Choir wants to be able to do, I hear the beep when you message. Oh, that was strange. What the Unified Choir wants to be able to do is create a gene that would allow frequent on-command metamorphosis. Essentially, we already have the technology for something like that, but not with the frequency, accuracy, or ease that this would allow. Essentially, a Rukian could be whatever they wanted to be with after going through this gene therapy at any given time. Things like skin color, height, weight, body mass. So the church's obsession and devotion to preserving the true code, this research represents a big threat to them, and we think that they would do anything to undermine that if they got wind of it.
I would say, do you have reason to believe that they got wind of it? That's my, did you have a mold? Do you have a leak? Like, have you been able to identify anything that links them to it? Or, I mean, yeah, like any way to know that they got this information?
He says right now it's just a suspicion, which is why I'm kind of deviating from the orders that we were given and would like to allow you folks some kind of access to potentially confirm or deny those concerns for us.
So our superiors had discussed, and before the council got together and decided that you guys would be able to handle it internally, that they would have liked some kind of sorry, I was reading and I don't care. That they would have liked some kind of research or investigation into at least one of the research labs where one of the incidents occurred. Is there a chance that you'd be able to help us just even get to see that, so that we can confirm or disprove this theory and then find the real culprit?
So what we can do for you is give you the coordinates to one of the research facilities where we were conducting we were conducting this research, and that would set you on your way. I think. Yeah.
Sorry, that's all I meant.
Not
that I know of. I think once we have the coordinates, we'd be able to work it out from there.
So Kawaka turns back to Yamada, who seems still kind of incensed by this and has been sitting sort of tight-lipped, like back at his desk while you've been discussing the situation. And he says, Yamada, make sure that these gentlemen are aware of the location of Facility 1, and we will... We won't stand in their way so that they can conduct their investigation and report back with the results.
I would say, how do I report back to you? How do I get in contact with you?
With information like this, all song usage has already become a little more temperamental, as I'm sure you've heard and been briefed on. I would advise coming back to headquarters and meeting with us directly. It's just not worth the risk of attempting to communicate it over a data stream right now. The Church of Embodiment is everywhere. And I don't want to risk them, catching wind of this again if that is what happened.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I wanted to make sure that this was a safe setting for you.
We do have a condition, however, for this cooperation.
Of course.
We ask that any findings be reported directly back to us first.
Any findings reported back to you first. So you're not saying that I have to withhold it from, say, my superiors. Just you want to know first.
Yes.
That's reasonable. I can handle
that. Very well then. Yamada will make sure that you're given coordinates of the location. and then you can be on your way. Unless you have any other questions from me, anything that you need.
I don't, but I don't know if my colleagues do. Colleagues. Sorry, they've been asleep.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. No,
He sort of. Oh,
so I want to basically talk about, like, because I have engineering, and I assume with it translating over, I would kind of have a bit of a rookie in engineering.
okay.
So I want to see if I can roll that, see if I can get some kind of basic idea of what they're working on and what the implications could be, and then see if I could, like, narrow it down a little bit. Like, I want to talk shop with them a bit to see if I can, figure out, like, exactly what we should be looking for.
Okay, so so essentially, what would you, RP wise, what would you ask then?
I'm basically looking for, like, what the device is, what it's capable of. Like, they're focusing on, messing with the all code or the true code or their genetics, really. And then I want to see, like what buzzwords he's using, what's kind of powering it, essentially. What flavor of mad science is this?
So okay, he says we can't really give you any specific details about the proprietary information that we're working on. I understand that the Myriand, being primarily a police force, wouldn't really be a competitor here, but still, I would lose my job immediately if I shared any specific details. But essentially, we're looking into recombinant genetics. What we're talking about isn't a device, it's a therapy. If that makes sense.
It does, thank you.
Anything else before I take my leave? A kind of busy day ahead of me.
Sure, no, thank you for your time.
He bows his way out of the room again, and then he's gone, and Yamada sort of begrudgingly hands you a little data pad with some coordinates on it.
Ooh.
Hands it to
Thank
Floyd,
you.
I should say.
Thank you. I might. Actually, we just gotta write it down. Can I see the coordinates? Like,
Yeah, you. So I don't have like a set of numbers for you because coordinates don't really work the same en route, but
okay.
you know from your past Rukian experience that this place is way outside of the city, and essentially it's on the border of what's called the hub, which is like the main Rukian like civilization element, and the periphery, which is like kind of like wild, untamed territory that's sort of ever expanding into the strange.
So we're talking prime acid slug territory.
Damn it.
It's remote. We'll put it that way. It is remote.
So can I memorize the coordinates, memorize what it is, and then hand him back the data pad?
No, I'm sorry.
Is it ours to keep?
You can keep it. Yeah.
Yes.
I misunderstood what you were asking. Yeah, no, you can keep the data pad.
Yamada, I know that you're uncomfortable with the situation that happened, but I assure you that we will come to the bottom of this. We will let you and your colleague know, and we will we'll get rid of this situation.
He doesn't seem to really warm at that. He just kind of nods almost imperceptibly and says, just make sure that you don't cross us on this. You won't like the result.
I have no intention to. I will let you know what we find. I will let your colleague know what we find. And again, hopefully we can have a good positive situation out of this terrible event. So thank you.
He doesn't reply again, just kind of
Fuck you.
stares at you with that cutting glare and waits for you to make a move. All right, so you guys are heading out?
Oh yeah, I'm leaving that jerk head.
All right. Ashumi, the receptionist, kind of catches you leaving there and says, thank you for visiting. Have a great day.
I give her a thumbs up and walk out.
Okay. All right. So you guys are back out in Harmonious proper. It's like well past midday now, so the streets are bustling, people moving to and fro like they were when you first got there. You've noticed that there's no real like sunlight to gauge time by, but you can tell it's been quite some time. And yeah, so there you are. You're currently outside of the building.
I think that went pretty well.
Yeah, really. Sure.
Well, I'm keeping this data pad then. Good luck.
Got the data.
Good luck finding the location.
Do you not want my armor around when the acid slugs eat you?
Oh, you think I'm gonna go? I'm just leaving. I'm going home.
He's got his data pad,
He's pieced out.
taking his swag and bouncing.
It's like an iPod, right? You just listen to music out of it.
Did we
What did we even want out of this, by the way, guys? I just went.
No, you got exactly what we wanted. Well, I'm just giving Floyd a hard time because, this is how Nick and Floyd interact.
Oh no, I know that was Floyd asking. What did we? He forgot what we wanted.
Good.
like pop off or anything after? I can't remember. Are we like back up to sort of fighting strength?
Well, Floyd didn't get hurt, so
Yeah, I believe you're
I know we did like the hit recovery and shit. I think.
yeah.
I feel like we should be in pretty good shape.
Well, I mean, you can check your sheet should reflect it.
Yep.
It's looking like Al is down 1 speed point. That's it. Like from his pool. Floyd,
one intellect.
yep, 1 intellect. And Nick, I think, is totally Nick is topped off.
Yeah, I topped off with my action recovery roll.
I think there were a couple of recovery rolls got used.
Yeah, I thought I used one of mine too, but it's not showing which one I used.
It probably would have been your action one. Let me check here.
That's terrifying, Floyd.
Yeah,
I thought it was either 10 minutes or the action one. I can't remember.
I think it was the action one has the bubble checked here.
Yeah. All right, that's fine.
So yeah, I think you're all good on that
Okay.
on that front.
Okay, so we have the coordinates. Do we fucking just rock it? I'm gonna stand back and let Nick and you do this because I'm just gonna stand back.
Do we still have Big McLarchuge, the big game hunter? What's his
No.
name?
Brett.
Okay. All right, Brett. I love how you knew exactly what I was talking about. All right, so do we have any local contacts that we know about that
Can assist us in finding these
in
coordinates.
going out, like to the Jumanji Wilds and?
Oh, so I mean, you have Brett's contact information. He just wasn't still with you, and same with Shalimdar.
All right, I'm gonna tweet at which I assume in Rook is like an actual like bioengineered bird that just flies around and spits words at people.
Yeah, like your head comes apart and you like shoot a sonar pulse.
When you use birds, it's called tweeting. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him a message, basically just saying, "Hey, what do you know about this area? What do we need to be prepared for as we're heading out towards it?"
I hope you don't get your head exploded.
Okay.
Only 1 in 20 users' heads explode when they use the tweeting system.
So
That all song's gonna get you.
Shalimdar informs you that being out on the periphery or near the periphery, there is an increased danger of like
Acid
biological creatures. Yeah, biological creatures in the wasteland. But that like it's very small, relatively small pockets of activity, and then just the specific coordinates are out in something called the Spar Wastes. And to the best of Shalimdar's knowledge, he had no idea anything was there. So he seems to think like getting there should be relatively safe. And like it was a research facility. So he outside of just like the time it takes to make the travel, he doesn't foresee any challenges. It is pretty far outside the city though. So he recommends coming back to the. He tells you that basically, if you head back to Quiet Cabal headquarters, they'll have a vehicle waiting for you.
Oh, we're going off-roading. We're going mudding. Rook mudding. Alright, yeah.
And so
Um,
this research facility is a choir research facility, not a church research facility.
Correct. It's where it's Research Facility 1, so it's where they started this project for, that killed off a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
So, happy times.
Gotcha.
All right.
So you heading back to pick up your vehicle?
That sounds reasonable.
All right. So you head back to Quiet Cabal headquarters, and it's actually like, basically around the side of the entrance where you went in. There's kind of like a small, like motor pool set back in from the main entryway. The vehicle that they set out for you is kind of like it's interesting. It's got large sort of like big all-terrain tires. It kind of almost looks like an APC except it's open-topped. So it's a heavy little vehicle and it seats like 10 people. With like a big like steering vane at the front. And it just seems like it's designed to kind of traverse really sketchy terrain. Yeah, so it's kind of like a smaller version of the Mako, if anybody played the original like Mass Effect.
So it's gonna be unwieldy as hell to drive. Perfect.
Drive like that thing, yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear any fan.
All right,
So
cool.
you're all good.
I was worried.
Yeah, so you pile into this vehicle. Who's driving?
Does anyone have any skill in drive? No, not
No,
you,
I'm
Floyd.
gonna let Al drive. Al seems like he's smart enough to drive, probably.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, he's got the reaction times of a battle guy.
All right, so you do actually
A
like
battle guy, is that the technical term?
That's Floyd's term.
you kind of your Rukian instincts kick in and you can kind of get this thing rolling. It's not actually that difficult to drive. You do discover by looking over the controls though that it does very much like the Mako also have the little jump thrusters. In case you run into anything particularly difficult to surmount. It's like you get a ton of looks as you're driving out of the city because in large part, like, there's not a lot of like ground vehicle traffic in Harmonious. Like, it's really tight quarters in the city, and like I said before, there's like flying transportation, and then there's also like, instead of cars, most people have little harness suits they can like glide from building to building and shit like that. So a lot of the travel is done at like skyline height.
We're
So-
getting the fucking tourist look.
Yo,
Yeah,
I'm giving
absolutely.
We've
I'm
taken
giving
out 3
people-
noodle shops as it is.
I'm giving people the double guns out the window.
Or yeah, they don't
Don't
really
forget your arm is actually a shotgun. Stop doing that.
right. He just pops off with the shotgun. So your drive out across the Spar Wastes are actually very uneventful. Like, once you get out there, you can kind of see what he means about the isolated pockets of stuff. Like, what the Spar Wastes are like, essentially Harmonious used to be way bigger. Some calamity happened that none of the current Rukians really remember, that everything was crushed and obliterated. And this is like basically the wreckage of cities and stuff like that. So it's kind of like looking out into space, right? Like it's going to be forever until you hit a star or anything of import. So eventually you come up. Did you try setting that setting to none? It's supposed to be set to anything but none.
Tell him that.
GM should double check.
Let's crash
the
it.
Chat setting to not set.
Crash it all.
Floyd's wearing a seatbelt.
I'm technically wearing an airbag, so
So let me drag us. So we might have to remake or re-pull the tokens back out. So that means I have to move myself. I'm not drag you guys over. Just for y'all.
Loading.
Well, I'm just gonna make me a little square here for the APC. Tokens.
Looking fly. Looking like Floyd. Oh, you can't move us unless we're gonna.
Oh yeah, my bad. Whoops. Okay, so you guys can. That's where the little APC is. You guys can drag yourselves out.
Floyd's the only one in the car. They disappeared. I think Floyd's gonna sing everything from now on.
So, all right, you come up to this like large but kind of very.
In charge.
It seems like weird to call something hidden that's that big, but as you're driving up on it, it really just kind of looks like a mound out in the nothingness. But you see recessed into like this little like channel in the rock of this mound, there's a giant, like, so it's 4 squares, so that's like 4 people across, basically, this big like steel door set into the wall. Denoting the fact that there is something here. Otherwise, you would, if you didn't know it, it would have been incredibly random for you to ever, strike upon it.
It's on you. We need to get in that door. Look, use your metal suit.
As you approach the door, you see that there is like a small keypad kind of set into the side of the rock wall. Other than that, like the door doesn't automatically open for you or anything like that.
Can I use premonition on the keypad?
Yes,
Try to
you
figure
use
out if I
premonition
can.
on the keypad.
Alright.
So that one's not free, right? You got to drain a point for that.
I did the drain plus.
Okay, cool. So your mind flashes back to when the facility was still bustling. As bustling as a secret facility can be. And you're watching a researcher put the code into the door, and it's like 67819.
I tell him when to stand back and type it in.
Simple numerical code. Yes, Floyd. Yes, that is how you whisper.
Don't tell anyone.
I feel like we have to whisper talk every time.
So you, what is bandwidth set to? Medium.
We'll be back in one minute.
Okay. So he should be back shortly.
So yeah, like the carapace cracks open on the suit and all these eye stalks come out looking around, and then Nick just types in the code. And then we yell, Aziz, light!
Hold on, just a second of work. Did that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were actually are. Try setting it to high. Why the fuck is that? Okay, I'll do it. Nick feels something on his back as he walks up to the keypad.
Floyd.
Oh, now that I had to reload the entire page.
No, what?
Did-
No,
did that-
nothing.
Did that
Floyd.
reload the entire page for everybody or just me?
Just you, I think.
Floyd.
I'm just trying to get the enemies how to beat you.
Floyd, is there a kick me sign on the back of my armor, Floyd?
I mean,
There's not that.
Oh, no, the problem is I can't quite reach the back. Floyd, take off the kick me sign.
All right.
so I'm sorry, I was dealing with
I'll wipe it off.
that fiasco and trying to deal with the woods too. So did you actually go up and open the door?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so
I told everyone to stand back and typed in the code.
okay, so I have some revealing to do then.
What have you done?
I don't know, unique calories.
Aziz, light.
Okay. So you see there's basically a long, kind of narrow-ish hallway, and just another series of metal doors. So there's 3 on the left side and 1 on the right side, and then another big but not quite as big one down all the way at the end of the hallway. That puts it at about 80 feet away from you guys.
Dang. All right, you guys.
As
Gotta
soon
do
as the
it.
door opens, there's a very kind of like a stale smell that kind of wafts up and hits your nostrils. And you've seen Organomer before. I described it briefly when you guys first got to the city. That kind of like metal that sort of pulses and almost seems to like move and stuff like that. And kind of has like almost that faint glow to it and stuff. And there are Organomer like veins running through the like kind of like stone looking walls here, but even they sort of seem dead. Like they don't respond or move or glow or anything like that. And there's some there's a little bit of light, but it's very, very dim. It seems like emergency lighting. Every 10 or so feet there'll be like a really dull like glow white bulb. And that's about it. That's all you see.
All right, my armor lets me see in the dark, guys, so I'm going to take point.
That's right. I'd like to be in the middle of you two.
I'm
And then I'll-
assuming you fit the vehicle in the hallway.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, like it's gonna scrape. Like it's all that's getting into the hallway.
Good to know.
If you drove it in there.
We can use the vehicle to wedge like it closed if we see the zombies. And we can turn around and come running back up. But no.
So, as you guys cross through the front kind of entryway there, you hear sort of like a high pitched whine, and like small little circular enclosures open up on the side of the walls, and you're peppered with fletchet darts. Go ahead and roll a speed check, everybody.
Son of a
Nice.
bitch.
Also, while I'm thinking about this, I also want to turn off my my Wi-Fi router for the all song, wherever the equivalent is.
Yeah.
You said a speed roll.
Yeah.
Ah, good luck, guys. Woo.
Getting caught, Floyd.
Oh, look at these 16s.
Okay, give me 1 sec.
Nick. Ow.
Okay.
The armor's heavy, all right.
So before I resolve those shenanigans, I actually completely forgot. For getting the coordinates, I'm gonna go ahead and give the Floydster an experience for getting you guys in there, and so you also have one to distribute.
I'm gonna give it to L for driving me that car.
Yay.
All right. So since I don't have the tokens from the one shot, remember we're
You
keeping
can
track
add it
of
on
those. Yeah, on the character sheets.
Yep.
How many does everybody have now?
I have 2.
I have 1.
I have 2.
Okay. So, like, Al and Floyd just kind of like twister their way into like, yeah, they sort of are able to kind of dodge out of the way of most of the darts. Nick takes a few of them to the midsection. So it's 4 might damage.
Okay, so you mean 1 might damage because
Yes.
armor.
And then another task. Yeah, I'm always just gonna give you the damage numbers. Like, it's up to you guys to remember your armor.
You mean non-existent armor?
Yeah, in some cases.
Yeah.
Then I need another might task from Nick. The one dart that gets through the chinks in the armor, there's
I'm poisoned.
it's a little wet. Okay, that's you feel it as it hits your system. You're kind of like staggered for a little bit, and you take you feel a little more sluggish. You take 2 more speed damage on top of that.
Hey, you guys, does this taste like purple to you?
You know, I wouldn't have been hit by that if I were you, but to each our own.
All right, so you continuing down the hallway. It's fairly uneventful. Other than that, you can reach all the way to the back without
Yep.
triggering anything.
Well-
You see that. So
Hold on.
this.
This is a door, right? That I'm at?
Yeah, and I'm actually it's the only one of them that seems to appear to be kind of hanging open. Like, they're all those very kind of like steel, like slide up doors. But this one is kind of like sparking, and it sort of like it seems like it's trying to close, but it kind of just keeps doing that over and over again. And when it hits like a predetermined point, it just pops back up again. So when you look inside it, you see
What'd
there's
you
a
do?
small. It looks like a small kind of like really Spartan sort of living quarters. On the left side is a bed, and on the right side is a desk. I labeled them bed and desk. I don't know if that was on the GM layer though, so it might say that.
Nope, it does say them.
It does say bed and desk.
Okay, cool. I wanted it to, but I couldn't remember if layers are tricky.
Ogres
so-
have layers.
Yep, it's just a bed with a desk and a small workstation there. The desk appears to have some recessions for personal belongings, etc., etc. Outside of that, the room is pretty much empty.
Yo, also, for the record, these bitches didn't warn us about these traps and the shit like that. Let's go fight them when we go back.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna walk over to the workstation and see if I can get it to like power up or if there's paper or lubricant equivalent of paper, like some slug skin that is written on.
Okay. You see that there's a there's not much paper. You see that there's a small data pad, kind of like the one that Floyd gave you with the coordinates on it. But this one is kind of like a scheduling keeper sort of a thing, and the workstation itself does have a lot of like notes and stuff like that left on it. They pertain to just it seems like a lot of it is gobbledygook to you. You're an engineer, but not a genetic engineer, and you see references to genetics, genome, etc., but can't really decipher too much of it besides that.
Gotcha. Okay. We'll grab a collection of these data pads. So.
Okay. So you pick up the data pad.
Nothing else in the room that looks like we should check it out or take it with us.
As you glance over it, you can see that there's really not much else in there besides the data pad and the workstation and the bed. It's pretty much devoid of other items you can see or interact with.
Cool.
So is Al actually going into the next room there? Oh, it looks like there's 2 Als on the board.
Yeah, I somehow jagged mine off into this place I can't see it anymore, so you can...
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll get rid of that bad boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So moving on to the next room, as you approach this door, it kind of slides open for you, and you can
Oh,
see.
good, convenient.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let
So
someone.
same deal. This room is a little bigger, but you can see there's a bed and a desk, and the other kind of small like object there in the room is essentially just a really like large, comfortable looking kind of chair.
Ooh.
And at the foot of the bed there is a foot locker. I forgot to add it in there, but it's not really. It doesn't really take up a full square on its own. So just kind of a very like a small organomer. So probably pretty resilient foot locker sitting at the foot of the bed where
Is
foot
it
lockers sit.
locked?
You're gonna walk up and find out?
Is there anything that looks dangerous in the room?
No.
No.
I'm gonna do the same check I did before on the desk.
Walk in there and look at it.
All right, well,
So
fine.
you're-
I just managed to jank myself off into the nowhere.
Yeah, you flew off.
I
into,
will-
like,
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why I was worried about going in.
So apparently I got stuck. God damn it, Floyd.
Huh.
That was L.
No, I'm in there. God damn it.
no, Floyd's not going in there. Floyd's not going to any of these rooms.
Oh, so you're not checking the foot locker or no?
Well, I was gonna wait and make sure that someone else died if they checked it.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
check it, but then I gotta. You appeared above me.
Yeah, I'll drag him back out then.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so you doing foot locker first or desk first?
Foot locker first. That's the anomaly in the room, aside from the chair. But
Okay. So you go to open the foot locker and you do find it locked, as the case would have it.
what kind of lock is it? Is it another keypad lock, or is it?
It appears to be a physical mechanism, though you don't see like a key slot or anything like that. So like, you're not really sure how you'd interact with it to open it,
Pick it.
like to unlock it.
I'll burn another intellect point to premonition this.
Okay. So you you see a kind of stately-looking older Rupian gentleman entering the room and pressing down, like waving a hand over the top of the footlocker and revealing like a what looks like a small biometric scanner and pressing his thumb up against it and then unlocking it.
Gotcha.
having it
Okay.
open.
I guess I'm gonna try to force it open with a might roll then,
Okay.
and I will be using effort for this.
All right. Go ahead and roll her up.
And bloop. Bloop. The suspense is coming. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Nick Smash.
You know, the best
Nick
part about
Smash
this
good.
is there's like nothing in it, and you just wasted that shit.
So, like, you're so amped off of like,
The poison.
right, like, yeah, off of the poison, and the fact that you basically just Hulk smashed through this organomer footlocker, like it's in shards around you now. That you kind of shrug off some of the effects of the poison and gain back those speed points.
Guys, I think I did it bad.
So inside the
Tell me about the rabbits, Floyd.
inside the footlocker, there's just clothes essentially. You do find a bit stick that is probably worth about like 300 bits.
I'm no longer in debt.
Yeah. Okay.
And
My debt was 80 bits.
was it?
Yeah.
What were you in debt for?
Having the armor.
You're only in debt 80
Oh.
bits for that?
Yeah, well, I mean, and all of other equipment. I had nothing else but the clothes on my back and this armor,
Oh,
and my
true.
debt of 80 bits.
Word.
Wow. Debt free. You don't even need to work anymore.
You find a small tag affixed to one of the lab gowns with the Unified Choir symbol on it, that shows a picture of the kind of elder stately gentleman that you were looking at in your premonition, and it's the the wording on the badge above his picture says Head Researcher Ilum Nasha, Facility 1.
I am taking the jacket and putting it on over the armor.
Okay.
Is there only one jacket in there?
I'm hoping that tag
Yeah.
is like a biometric pass or something that's going to help us get through stuff. And I'll head over to the desk.
You give it a once over actually, and with your background in engineering, you see there does in fact appear to be sort of encoded somehow.
Yeah.
Like there
Alright,
is a sort of
perfect.
like a chip.
I'm
on
now the
back of
head
it.
researcher.
Joke's on
That's how
Nick.
this works.
Joke's on Nick. I'm taking the bit stick because he didn't fucking take it.
I
So-
already took the bit stick.
This desk, you see, you are able to still power up the terminal, but it is password locked.
Should I spend another intellect point for this?
I mean,
I'm burning through my smarts pretty fast, but this could be really useful.
You can roll it. You can.
Yeah, just try to intellect hack this.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
no, I'm saying like you can get the points back, or that's good too. Whatever.
Yeah, that works too. I guess his last name backwards.
Password is password.
So that wasn't a premonition. You're just rolling it.
That's just straight rolling it.
Okay. So you are able to you just sort of essentially you guess his last name backwards and it opens for you. The guy wasn't very he was a genetic researcher. He wasn't very creative. And I guess Rook isn't very strict about information security. Didn't really give him good advice on how to set up his password. So you see, in fact, when you get in there, and this will be like the special effect off of your roll, you see that, like almost immediately, you see sort of the same kind of genetic research files and everything, but you see that there's a subsection, like a partition of the computer that was set up, like a long time ago, that is completely different, that you can attempt to access. I'm not going to give you access to it off of that special roll, but you did find it. So you can sort of, if you can attempt to like apply yourself to the task of cracking that or find a way in, you sense that there's something else in there. There's
Alrighty.
a sort of a secret compartment.
I am definitely going to try to do that.
Okay. Any effort you're applying or assets or anything like that?
I will do effort. The asset I have is the rest of his files. Given like this guy was not huge on informational security, I know he's got a password file somewhere, like in an Excel spreadsheet.
So the problem, I can't give you that as an asset
No.
because the problem here is that the partition is encrypted. That was a password lock, and this isn't.
Okay.
Like you
Um,
actually have to work some hacker magic.
24-bit SSL.
Yeah.
Oh no, this SSL costs way more than 24 bits.
Could my engineering help at all? Like I know like how physically the computer would be set up in the partition. No.
Not really.
All right, I figured. All right, just a bit of effort, intellect roll.
Yeah, you sit down and you try to figure it out, but just like this isn't your bailiwick, this isn't your area of expertise.
Right.
You don't think you're going to be able to get that sucker open.
Alrighty. Damn.
Do you need Floyd? Do you need him to work his?
All right, Floyd. I'll let Floyd have a crack at it.
All right, Floyd, you sit down and try to take a crack at this computer. Do you have any assets or effort you want to use?
I'm gonna use an effort.
Okay.
So that means for intellect, it's taking one out of my pool, right?
2 out of your pool.
I have an edge in it.
Yep, we one edge. It's 3 points to do effort.
Okay.
So
So 2 out of it. Got it.
Yep.
All right, and then an intellect roll, right?
Yep.
How did you add the?
If you go to the left-hand side of your character sheet, you
Yeah.
can add the effort, and then you see where it says roll with stat or skill button, and then roll effort. You can change that 0 to a 1,
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it.
and then when you just roll it out, it automatically adds it.
Does it automatically subtract the points too?
It does not.
Okay.
You have to
So,
switch with points.
so make sure you do subtract the points.
Oh,
I'd
not so easy is it, Floyd? Not
Yo.
so easy.
Floyd don't care.
So-
That's
Essentially the same thing. You're like, yeah, this isn't really my shtick. Anything?
I mean, you guys need me to do it for you?
Can I, if I premonition, can I try to see like how to undo it as a premonition?
I mean, you can. I can't tell you what your premonition will give you before you do it.
Okay.
I'd
Alright.
like to premonate about my premonition.
I'm gonna premonition my premonition, so I can premonition, yo dog, I heard you like premonition. Alright. Yep, I'm gonna premonize.
Okay. So
Closer.
you. So are you're premonitioning about the room or the computer or about the researcher?
About that partition itself.
Okay,
I
about
want
the
to
partition
focus on
itself.
that.
So you get the image again of Illuminasha sitting at his desk, kind of looking over his shoulder, like almost like his foot tapping, sort of very, sort of very paranoid kind of expression on his face as he's kind of frantically typing away at the keys. And other than that, however, like encryption is a long process. Like you can't really see like how to undo that from looking
Gotcha.
at him doing it.
Alright, Al. Go for it. Go to town.
So, what do we need? Just need to hack this?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an encrypted partition on the computer that nobody seems to be able to access.
I can hack it.
Okay.
Alright,
Do
I'm
you-
gonna attack the computer.
You're gonna attack it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you really gonna attack the computer?
Yeah, I'm gonna hack it. Just one.
Okay, what are you actually doing though?
They said they needed me to get into the computer. We're gonna get in it.
Alright, so you're
If these two idiots can't get inside,
I
there's
mean, like,
no way I'm actually gonna bypass this encryption. So I can break it in half if you guys want me to break it in half. Could probably extract the drive.
Yeah, and like let the Quiet Cabal people take a crack at it.
What did Floyd miss? We sucked it up.
Al's offering to literally hack the computer, as in rip it open, grab the drive, and let's go with it.
Floyd don't care.
Yeah, worst case scenario, bring it back to the estate and let them tinker with it.
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
how are you doing it?
Do I understand, or does one of them understand enough about this device to tell me where the drive is and where it isn't?
Nope.
I'm an engineer.
Yeah, so Nick can kind of you can make a might check to kind of like pop this thing open, or I'd say speed, because we're talking about like you're not actually going to smash it. I'm assuming you kind of want to pop it open and extract the drive. I mean, it's up to you whether you want to do it as
Depends on where the drive is.
If you
there's
do
a
it-
bunch that I can smash that's not involving the drive, I'll probably just do that anyway. But
I think Nick.
probably
so-
a little more delicate in terms of actually opening up the drive enclosure.
Yeah, you can use Nick's expertise as an asset if you do it as a speed roll, because he's going to be able to show you how to like actually access the device and extract it like the way a technician would, being that he is an engineer.
All right, Nick, asset me.
So,
Consider yourself assetted.
are you going to also use effort or?
And I don't have what's it called? I do have an edge in speed, so I can spend 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we know I'm gonna roll like a 5, so
Okay. It's actually with the asset and the effort, you don't need to roll. If that makes it a 0 level task, and he kind of oversees, like, oh, you like get in there, unscrew that, and you're able to kind of pop this drive out. So make sure
left.
make sure one of you adds it to your inventory, whoever's hanging on to it.
I'll bank it. All right,
That you will not want to forget about.
So does that go under equipment or no? Where does it?
Wherever it makes most sense to you. I mean, it doesn't. We can use the sheets however we want to. I think for the most
Okay.
part.
It's weird. I thought I had other equipment. No, I just used nothing. It's all notes. Oh, okay. Got it. Internal system drive.
Okay, so you were successful. You have a drive. And so I'm going to go ahead and give Nick 2 experience for locating the secret drive.
Woo!
You weren't able
So
to find
one
out
for
what's on
me.
it, but it's still a step that you got to it.
So 2 for me, or 1 for me and 1 to pass off?
Oh, it's always. That's when I
Okay.
say I give
Yep.
you 2. I mean, yeah, you pass one on.
Just making sure.
Yep.
I will give this one to. We'll go with Al for actually locating, like, getting the drive out of there.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, and then you're gonna smash the fuck out of the rest of the workstation.
Yeah, I gotta do something that I actually want to do.
Okay. I mean, you're not really under any time pressure, so we'll call that a 0 task as well. You fucking stomp the shit out of it. It is shards and nothing else. So that's 2 experience for Nick, 3 for Al, 2 for Floyd.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Al's close to to potentially being able to spend on another tier.
Yep.
Burn them all.
Or well, towards another tier, I should say.
Burn them all on efforts.
Do it.
All right, yeah. So there you guys go. What's where you headed now?
Next party
You
room.
bitches keep leading the way. I'm too afraid to open up any doors.
Yep. I will armor my way through.
We've got 1 on the right and 1 more on our left.
Yep. We're just gonna keep on going down exactly the doors that we see.
Okay. So this one slides open easily as well.
After you, Iron Man.
Yeah, when you get bit by a zombie, that's on you, not me.
And it's hard for me to do any like in-depth drawings here, so I'll have to kind of fill in the rest with my mind here. So this room is 2. What you see at the back are 2 long workbenches, with microscopes, other equipment, centrifuges, etc. And along the walls there are other machines, the nature of which you can't really figure out. They're all kind of like blocky. They look like they have a spot for accepting some kind of material and a spot for delivering on the other end some kind of material. Or perhaps through the top of the machine. They're at about like waist height, most of them. But other than that, just by looking at them, you can't really tell what they do because they just look like boxes, kind of, with like receptacles.
All right. Sorry. Go on.
Nope, that was it. That was all I had.
If I step back, does the door close?
Yes, it does.
Okay, because I have a feeling that this is going to be another living quarters, so I want to do that one first because it's a nice smaller area to check before going into big room of Machine of Doom.
Okay. So, and once again, no problems getting into this door. And so you're right. This is another living quarter. There's just beds lining the walls there. Each one has a foot locker at the left hand side of it. Other than that, I mean, there's no kind of decoration or anything like that here. All of the beds have kind of a scratchy looking single fabric quilt or whatever they're meticulously made. And outside of that, there really doesn't appear to be much of anything else there.
Floyd wants to break one of the footlockers.
Well, hold on. Before we start breaking things,
No.
as I have the
Here's
badge
footlocker.
of the head researcher, and this is a place that's a secret facility where you're probably going to do spot inspections, I want to hold that badge up to a footlocker, see if there's an override access in there that'll just pop it open.
So you get down in front of one of the footlockers, and you pass the badge over it. But as you do, you before you even get the badge over the top of it, you see that it just kind of pops open.
Oh man, Floyd's still gonna
So
kick
these
one.
ones, you get the impression that the badge didn't really have much to do with it, and these ones just aren't locked.
Gotcha.
Is there anything in this one? Right here?
Or at least
We're at
this
it.
one isn't locked, I should say. The first one is the one that Nick attempts to open is cobwebs, nothing in it.
Oh man, alright. This one. I try to open it. I'm trying to open it.
Yep, it opens as well. That one, there's another there's a much smaller 50-bit stick there, but that's kind of all that's sitting there at the bottom of that one.
I'll take my 50 bit.
Okay, Make sure you know
Yeah, I think we just go down the line, like seeing what ones we can open and can't open, that kind of stuff.
Okay. They all open for you. They are mostly empty. There are some, like, the ones toward the end have some clothes in them.
Yes, that's all I wanted.
They're very, like, kind of like, almost like surgical gowns. They're very, they close, some more like scrubs, I guess. Like, they're, like, white and surgical looking, but they do clothes at the back and everything. They're, like, actual clothes. And they have those kind of, like, shoes that they like the scrub shoes where you just sort of pull them, like formless, like you pull them on over your feet. They look like slippers, kind of a thing. And the one in the very middle has another data pad, and on the data pad, like if you like tap on it to turn it on or whatever, the like kind of like start screen or whatever loads up and says Project Awakening on the front. And
Hang on to that.
Well, that's ominous.
whoever it looks like Al was actually closer to that one, so
Yeah.
he is the one who picks that one up.
Dr. Floyd just wants the scrubs. He's wearing them now.
And what you
I'll add that.
showed to everyone. So I showed the contents of the datapad beyond that are very simple, and that's all you see. Just it looks like a basic schedule there. But that's what you got.
Ooh, inundation therapy. That's what they were discussing.
Whoa.
Fuck.
How long did that take? Morning meal, and then 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m.?
And then night meal.
No lunch.
What a sad day.
Inundation therapy takes a while. Maybe they break for like snacks.
No, I don't think so. There's no that is a schedule, and that's not a snack break. All right, Dr. Floyd's going back into the hallway.
Okay.
Alright, so there's nothing else in this room.
Dr. Floyd got a medical degree from that room.
There's nothing outside of the Foot Lockers.
Nope. You get the impression that you've searched it pretty thoroughly. Don't
And
really.
I'd like to
Don't really
spin
see
my
anything.
identity to Nick to convince him I'm a doctor.
Roll an intellect check or intelligence check.
All right, I have to go down one.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Nick, Nick actually opens up the armor for the first time this entire adventure, just to stare at you with them.
Hey, man, yo, look, it's got to be it's an opposed roll, and he's. Yeah,
oh,
so-
okay. I gotta pose this? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is where the dice are gonna fuck out on me. Nope. Not again.
Good to see
You're
you
like, man, that's so weird. I did not like. Is he like? It's one of those incredulous claims where like he just hits you with it so hard that you're like not sure. You're like you think it's a coin flip that Floyd could be a fucking medical doctor.
Yeah, no, I totally am gonna not believe him to his face. But then we get back to the estate, I'm gonna cool the crap out of it.
Right, yeah, right. You're like no, like fucking man. Is he a doctor? I'm down with that.
No, I like how this could play out.
Yeah, this could have interesting ramifications.
I'm gonna add this to my character sheet.
Alright, well, I see right through it, but I'll
I didn't try to convince you.
let this keep going. Just 'cause-
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll tell him that he shrugged it off though because he just blew an 18. So like, even though it wasn't directed at him, we'll give him like a good yay. All right, so you're going back into the big room.
Yep.
Nothing appears to have changed in there.
Can't go through this.
Oh, that's good. We haven't gone through there yet, but I want to check this before going through the giant ominous door at the end of the hallway. So the two rectangles are the machine, or one machine or
They're-
two machines?
So there's 4 of the little boxy machines at the like flanking the walls there, and then the 2 longer rectangles. I'm sorry, these are so generic. Are just they're longer workbenches, and that's where all your like little littler equipment, like your microscopes, your centrifuges, etc., etc.
Gotcha.
As you're looking them over, Nick, you get the impression that like they're very new. Like some of the foot lockers that you combed through had cobwebs in them. The Organimer here is dead. Like it seems like not necessarily a new facility, but the equipment in this room looks pretty new. It's pretty sterling.
Okay, so either it hasn't been used much, or this is all recent things brought in. Do we have any notepads, any data pads around here that we can see?
Nope, nothing that jumps out at you. Nothing that you see after inspecting carefully.
There doesn't look like anywhere to like dock a data pad or like plug one in. Anything is there?
You can see that there are like some charging stations at the like on the longer workbenches, but nothing to like no like terminals or anything like that.
And I'm next to one of the things that has a receptacle in it.
Yes.
Do not plug into it.
Plug into it.
Well,
Do you need me to plug into it?
I like where this is going in chat.
Well, I never.
I mean, being able to you could write a play about getting sucked off by a Ruthian machine.
yeah. This
So
is
what?
By the way, what
What
are your
human-
plays about?
What human emotions will that provide me?
orgasm.
Confusion.
Satisfaction.
There it is.
Gratification.
We're on it. We're on it. And it ultimately leads to the death of the human race.
Does anyone have anything useless besides Floyd's dong that they could put in this receptacle?
Let's see what I have in my inventory.
You still pizza?
No, I
You
threw
said
that.
pizza.
I
Oh,
threw the pizza.
He did throw the pizza.
I mean, I doubt it's just going to take anything we give it, but you never know.
I have my shoddy arm. That's all I got. I'm out of items. Yo, let's shove one of the pieces of the destroyed footlocker in there.
There you go. I could use this encrypted hard drive.
Oh, there you go. That's a good plan.
maybe not destroy all the research.
Well, I don't even know. Does it look like we even can turn this thing on? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you find like a small like console on the front of it that it does have a power button. Have you-
Does it have a screen on it?
it's almost like I mean, it doesn't look exactly like this, obviously, but it's kind of like I was gonna say like a printer screen, but the newer ones do have like actual digital readouts. It's just a console of buttons, essentially.
Oh.
There's
like a shitty
so-
copy.
like a keypad for inputting actual numerical data, and then like there's a power button, there's a button for analyze, there's a button for scrap, there's a button for synthesize, et cetera, et cetera.
I guess we can power it on and see if it will start anything automated wise.
Yeah, maybe it's like a Xerox machine and it has like it'll step you through whatever you're trying to synthesize. I turned it on.
Okay, so it hums to life. It's like a very quiet sort of hum. And you can see that there's like a light starts inside the receptacle, so you can see now that there's like a little bay in the front of it that you can put things into and kind of close a little door. And it says, nothing starts happening automatically besides that, however.
Alright, I'm gonna burn another point of intellect and then take 10 minutes to refresh myself afterwards. Because I'm going to use premonition.
You want to premonate? Okay.
Premonize.
Boy,
Okay, so what you get is essentially like you're about the device, right?
Yep.
Okay. You get like a montage, like a Shaun of the Dead style, like researcher enters bedrooms at the back. Actually, no, you don't. My bad. You get a
Dick.
an image of the room empty, and then light comes on. Team of people in UC gowns move into the room, flanked by an armed escort, and deposit the machine, and then leave through the door, and then you see the machine sitting there.
You premeditated the wrong thing.
I did premeditate the wrong thing. Alright, well maybe I can premonitate a bit more about other things after I take my 10 minutes nap.
Yep, okay, so go ahead and make that roll.
You get a +1 to it.
Nice. So that'll be +3.
Get the smarts back.
Ooh, 5, yeah, that should top you off again, right?
It should.
Sick.
Oh, give me that. Thank you. 1, 2, 4. I'm gonna leave that at 11 actually and go, because I still have that might damage I need to get clear up.
It says only +2 on this one, on the roll, but you should have +3. Like you said
Weird. All right, I should.
Yeah, okay, 6.
There we go. Only 1 down on might and 2 down on intellect.
Thanks. Good
Oh,
stuff.
All right.
You're the worst.
Wow.
Damn.
See if I take darts for you again, jackass.
You didn't take it from me. I dodged the fuck out of him.
That's what you like to think. That's what you like to think, Dr. Floyd. All right, I'm going to premonize about the room. I'm going back into this room and premonize because obviously there were people in here. And we'll see if we can get like the intro video or follow people around the base as a whole. And
Okay, so you're doing this in the room you were just in, or you're going into the bedroom to do it, or the dormant room?
I'm going in the bedroom and seeing if I can like start the premonition and then like follow people around in the premonition around the base. I'm doing I have cleanse the demons.
Okay. I'm gonna say, like, as it goes from room to room, you're gonna have to do it again, essentially. Like, you can premonize about localized spaces and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
For this one, you essentially just see, like, into the past, there were you can see the people lying in the beds. They appear to be like sedated. There's kind of like an IV drip set up there, and then someone coming in to kind of disconnect those and rouse the people out of bed.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go into this room and do the same thing. I'll mark off 2 points.
In this room, you get the again, basically just a wider view of people coming into the room to set up the workbenches, the microscopes, centrifuges, etc., moving the machines in.
This stuff has never been used, or at least if it has been used, it wasn't used significantly enough. I say we go tackle that door.
Okay. Tackling that door is incredibly easy because it has a keycard reader, and you have the key for it.
I'm the head researcher of this facility as far as everything else is concerned.
Okay, so... Okay, so the doors slide open. In this room, there's what you're seeing there. Those little like weird shapes. There's a series of discrete stations set up with like wide, expansive view screens, and a setup that surround a setup that seems to be part seat, part harness. It's like the seats are elevated about 4 feet off the ground, and a series of wires snake from the base of the chair up to the headrest portion and down under the floor. On the back wall, there's another station with normal seating for 2. The majority of the large room seems meticulously cleaned and polished. save in the back far corner where there's a pile of strange refuse that looks like biological waste. It appears to just kind of be festering.
I'm
Sort of
steering
hits you
clear.
with like a
That shit.
like assaults your nostrils as soon as you.
Yeah, that's not
walk in.
creepy at all.
Hmm.
All right, so Nick does the smart thing and steps into the room,
Okay.
and then waits.
You step into the room and nothing seems to happen at first.
He got it at the first in there.
He did indeed.
Floyd's gonna hang out right here.
Okay.
Yo, guys, we should throw something at that
No, let's wait.
pile of waste.
I want to look
You're
at.
you're just waiting.
No, well, so there's no reaction from anything. Like we were in the room, nothing's happened.
No, there's the same kind of emergency lighting in this room as in the others, so it's not like nothing turns on or anything like that. It's, you know.
Can we look at this station?
Yeah, what's going on in the station?
All of the stations appear to be depowered, so they're all just the view screens seem to like they make it so you'd imagine that if you sat in the like harness seat thing, they would be kind of all you would see in front of you.
Yo, Nick,
and
plug your
they're
penis
black
into
right now though.
Turn it on. Use your electro dick.
No,
You have that, right?
Electro.
of course, but no.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm playing games on it. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
Station.
Yo, guys, we gotta do something with that crazy. Let's get out of here. You don't need to worry about that biological waste.
Kinda do though.
Is this a
For what reason?
experience? What's this?
Oh, it's just the back. I just dragged too much when I revealed the area. It's just the back wall. The wall ends there. I promise.
All right, Nick, go in. Use your rocket lasers.
Someone just throw something at it.
See, throw something at it. That was my goal too.
I don't have anything to throw at it.
Yeah. What's everyone carrying? What's going on?
Is there like a data pad around on the ground, or like
I'm gonna go back and pick up some of that Foot Locker that we smashed.
Okay, so you go back and pick pick up a shard of the footlocker.
Yeah.
Okay.
I come back.
Okay.
And I chuck it in the general, like at that pile of crap.
Okay. You chuck it at the pile of crap, and there's like an angry kind of rasping roar from the pile of crap.
of course?
Good.
The creature that comes out of the like sort of surges out of the pile. It looks humanoid.
All right.
It's wearing kind of like tattered, basically like a tattered version of the kind of scrub clothing that you found in the Foot Locker. That's sort of covered over with like blood and grime and shit like that. And it's got like what looks like other human faces kind of like fused into its flesh. I have a visual aid that I will
Oh,
show
good.
you.
Good.
Oh, goody.
Wait, where's the handout? That was just the picture version. Here we go.
Oh, good. Mario,
yeah.
carry on.
So, the clothes are different, obviously, but you can see almost what looks like sort of like angry, like brutalized, terrorized faces just sort of like swimming around this thing's chest.
How big?
It's like it's a tall drink of water, but other than that, it just looks like the size of a normal human, like maybe like 6'5". But so like above standard for human, but it's human sized. Let me throw it on the Mapperino. Looks really shitty as a token because I didn't bother
Yeah, it
with
does.
the pictures at all. And as it surges up out of the refuse pile there,
Roll initiative.
It extends a hand and levels what looks like some sort of handheld device at you, and discharges like a bolt of laser light from the device at at Floyd, who threw the shit at
Dr.
it.
Floyd.
Bitch, Dr. Floyd.
Floyd, go ahead and roll a speed defense check.
I sure will. Dun, 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 dun.
Uh, 11.
Did done that roll.
So the beam slams into your chest, leaving like kind of a scorch mark on it. You take 4 might damage.
On it, coach.
And it kind of it's just like, it looks at you with like this desperation in its eyes, and it's just like, give me your face.
You can't have my face.
At which point
Partial to that.
at which point we're going to go ahead and roll initiatives.
Yeah, it's me to think of a better way to start fights rather than me throwing stuff at things.
You just did.
I don't know. It works just fine for me.
Where's the initiative roll up there? That's... Yes!
Oh, killer.
Floyd falls over and dies.
More ones. Where is the initiative thing? I know I can click it somewhere.
Floyd loses all his turns.
Isn't there a place on the sheet where I can click it? I know I can just roll the die, but...
Yep, it should be under your speed defense or speed skills.
Initiative.
Alright, so Floyd's going last as fuck.
Yeah, you guys better get in there and take care of this guy, because I ain't got no pizza or no knives.
Get a shotgun arm.
Yo, but that's not pizza arm.
I did it.
Okay. Let's see. Nick got an 11. Oh, you can input numbers there. Okay, cool. Excellent. So, Aldous, you're the first one to react.
Al, get there.
Or,
Sorry.
no, I'm sorry, man. I forgot that there was a change and not just you shortening it up.
I was gonna have it just be AL, but I like Al. That works. Alright, I'm up.
Mhm.
That thing rolled a 0?
No, we don't get to see what it rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Alright, so there's nothing else that's like, that's the only thing that has come into the room or moved or...
Yep, that's the only change. That you notice. No, I'm just...
You might not be, I don't know anymore.
Where am I?
And each of these little blocks is 5 feet?
Yeah, and if you can, there's a ruler thing too. You can so he's 25 feet away from you right now.
What's the movement I get per turn again?
30, I believe, basically. Right? Short is like
I think so,
30
yeah.
to 50, I think. Yeah.
Let's see.
Just remember that you don't get to, unless you have like a talent or like a tier ability or whatever that allows you to do so. A turn is just one action and not 2 now. So like, if you ran up on him, that would be your turn for the turn.
But could I run like half the distance and use my...
No, you could run half the distance, but the movement would be your turn.
But the movement's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, essentially, it just makes combat go faster. So it kind of sucks, but
I got you. And so, pinging. I just ping.
Yep. Yeah.
These like screens.
Yes.
Oh shit! Use the angles.
Use the angle.
Yeah, watch. Do this. I'll draw it for you.
It's
I
gonna
was
be a
gonna
dick.
go.
Whoa, what the hell's that? That's not what I want.
Is it gonna
feel
be
like
a
I'm-
dick?
Go like this.
Oh shit! Look at that angle.
It's mad and shit.
Gotta use the angle.
Just
And what
tell
we want to do is we want to attack the Variform from here.
He just telestrated the strats for you.
Alright, let's see it. Now they know.
Floyd can't delete that.
I'm gonna go over there to the wall
Okay.
and yeah, hope that we get our tank in place and I can make some flanking maneuvers.
Okay.
Before Floyd
Yep.
does.
So this thing lines up another shot at Floyd and pops off with the. I think I'm gonna need another speed defense check arena.
Yep, nope, figured. Can I use an effort in it?
You can. Yep.
But I'm doing that.
Okay.
Oh. Oh.
So, oh, nice. So, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and call that like he shot at you twice now. He hit you once. You dodged it again. For your minor effect for the, or actually no, that's not. It's only on damage. Never mind. You don't get a minor effect for that.
Yep.
That's fair.
Make sure you turn, like remove the points too for using the effort. From your
I did already.
Okay. And you are good. So it is Nick's turn.
Alright, considering that I am trained in might defense and have armor, I'm getting all right up in his faces.
Okay. You get right up in his faces, and it is Floyd's turn.
Floyd's gonna take. So what did my one gun turn into? I had a handgun.
It's still just a small. It's basically kind of what he has. Was it a? How much damage did it deal?
2. It's a revolver.
Yeah. So it's got like a. It's basically shoots like a little fletchet, almost like the darts that you guys got hit with, except with no poison. And you can see like, so instead of a revolver with chambers, it's got like a little like 6-round like clip that comes out of the side of it.
All right, I'm
Um,
gonna try and shoot him back with my little dart guy.
Okie doke.
What roll?
It's going to be a speed roll.
9.
And you're kind of trying to like shoot around Nick, and you don't really have the best angle for it, and you kind of just like, plink it into the roof, into the ceiling.
How much ammo do I have on this thing?
So like reasonably, we would say you'd be carrying like at most 2 reloads. So you have 2 of those little clips of 6 or whatever.
Okay, yep.
I would
yep.
say. Aldous' turn.
Who?
Al's turn.
Al!
My bad. I'll get there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably not.
Well, I
Flirt
guess
the
I'm gonna have
laser.
to. I guess I'm gonna have to move again.
I mean, you could like. It depends on what you want to do, because like the screens they're big screens, but it's not. I mean, like you could peek around it from there. Like it's really depends on what you want to do. I'll tell you if you can do it from where you are.
No, I think I'm gonna. I guess if I was here, could I make full attacks, or do I have to get closer?
We said the whips were what, 10 feet?
I think they're 10, so I need one more.
Yeah, you'd be pretty close. I would say like it's you can make it. I'll say, because like we can probably get you to like we can get you that extra square closer. I think.
Maybe sure. I don't mind moving.
Yeah, no, that's because we'll consider it part of your like immediate distance that you're moving.
Okay.
So yeah, we can have you move to within 10 of them.
All right, then I'll make 2
You make 2 whips at face.
with that face.
Okay. Are you doing anything? Like, are you trying to control the field or anything? Are you doing anything with them, or are you just straight up attacking them? Or
Trying to decide if control the field might be good, but I don't know if I need it right now.
okay. So go ahead and roll it up. It's going to be a might task.
Yeah.
To hit.
And I roll for both.
Yes.
Come back, dice roller.
You know how.
Come back, dice roller.
Dice roller coming back.
One.
So he kind of sees you out of the corner of his eye, like walk around the thing and like go crack with your first whip as it sort of like it comes out of your back and sort of like you lean forward with that shoulder and lash at him with it. So he kind of ducks out of the way of it a little bit, like off to the side. Go ahead and roll for the follow-up. This one connects, however.
Yeah.
And you kind of cut a furrow into the into his chest to hear one of the other like individual faces kind of like make a retching, like almost like it's screaming out but no sound emerges from it. Sort of reaction. And your whip deals how much?
It's a light weapon, I think, right?
Yeah, so it's 2.
It is.
Okay. Just a second.
Light weapons deal 2 or 3? 2.
They deal 2.
They deal
yours,
2.
I mean, check your character sheet though, because I think you're. Don't you have something that, like a talent or something that lets him deal more damage?
Do you have your drugs?
I have my drugs, but I haven't used them.
Oh, you're weak as shit.
Okay. You successfully hit him up. So it is back at the at this guy's turn. So he like slides the gun down into into his waistband. Then he kind of like reaches forward to grab Nick's face in the armor.
He wants
And
your face.
You see like his mouth sort of like expands to almost an otherworldly degree.
I would not like to give him my face.
As do all of the mouths on his chest, and just this thundering, deafening scream just booms out from all of them. Roll a might defense.
Well, that's terrifying.
That is wildly terrifying. Don't fuck up.
And
Training.
So
fuck
yeah,
up.
I mean, if it beats a 4.
So, like, we'll say that the armor filters out some of the scream, but you still take a solid 3 points of might damage that ignore your armor, and
Ow.
you can no longer hear for like. You don't think like you didn't feel like your eardrums burst or anything, but you've got that kind of like you're sort of trying to pop your eardrums and stuff like that. So right now it's all just kind of white noise.
What?
Exactly. And it is Nick's turn.
What? I'm gonna try to exception him in the face.
Okay.
Which?
Good question.
And
Oh, no, it was.
does that? I don't remember. Does that provoke anything because it's not like a weapon attack? You can just point.
Not
out
that I saw.
Okay.
Just.
Gotcha.
Throw me a
Go
goldfish.
ahead and roll it up.
Throw me a goldfish in the air. I'll catch it.
Exception.
Well, I don't think that's gonna do it.
Yep. Unfortunately, no. He seems to be very at home on this particular recursion and is maybe, frankly, just a little insulted at
That's
your
good.
insistence that he's not.
Close. That's way better.
And it is Floyd's turn.
Floyd has seen these faces and the emotions that these faces have portrayed have struck him. And he wants to enthrall the beast, if possible.
Okay. So
And what I'll be speaking about is the potential that this creature has to join any number of my plays, to show any number of emotions and play any number of characters, and just everything that I could do if he were to join my troupe.
okay. Roll an intellect check. Okay. So you see the creature's eyes just kind of glaze over at that, and he seems to be listening intently, not necessarily with like anything like interest in what you're saying, but just like the sheer kind of absurdity of it has kind of seems to be holding him wrapped. Al, it is your turn.
Well, I guess while he's all transfixed,
Never seen such vocal cords. You wouldn't even need to be mic'd up.
yeah, I think I'm gonna spend a might effort. If I'm making 2 attacks, I have to spend effort in each attack, right?
Yes.
All right, guys, I gotta check on something. I'll be right back.
Sure.
All right. Well, I'll start it out here. I'm gonna spend 1 effort on attack 1. Oh.
Oh shit. Okay. So you like bring the whip down essentially right across his main face, and just see it leave like a terrible gash, like right across like his one of his eyes and down the side of his face. So you can choose to have your attack produce a major effect, or you can have it do 4 extra damage.
And I have to pick the effect,
Um,
or I have
Ye-
to try to pick the effect, or no?
yeah, you can suggest one.
I mean, it's
Like-
easier if you don't. Yeah. All right. I'll take the effect.
All right. So what do you want the effect to do?
I mean, I'm open to anything you had to suggest, but I mean, maybe blind him.
Okay.
Maybe
All right.
blind his other faces.
Yeah. So basically, instead of, as I described, the thing cutting across like down his face, you basically lash him horizontally and just crush like into the bridge of his nose and rake both of his eyes with the whip. And so we're sticking with the 2 damage,
Okay,
and
roll.
he's, let me mark him down. Speed blind.
Just like toss it high in the air.
What do I
Skyhook.
use for blind? I'll use
Skyhook. That's good.
that. Okay. Second attack?
Fuck it. I'll spend the might effort again.
Okay.
Hey.
Nice. Yeah, so you hit him again. You crack him again, this time across the ribs, kind of double him over a little bit.
Nice.
This guy's a jerk.
Alright, so on his turn,
Can't do shit because he can't see, and he's like, "Fuck this."
I hate my life. Wait, I'll take your opposition.
he goes to, like, he's, like, kind of got an arm up, sort of, like, clutching at his eyes, trying to see. He whips out the pistol, like, and kind of just, like, he's sort of waving it around madly and tries to crack off a shot at Al. So, Al, go ahead and roll a speed defense.
Bitch, how can you even hit me?
What?
That's still based on how wildly he's shooting. That's still actually enough to, get clear of it. So you watch the laser beam shatters into the screen behind you and kind of leaves this hole in it. You smell like circuits frying, etc., etc. Then so we're gonna have to. I don't know if we're gonna have to wait for Joe to come back, but the other faces or whatever, like he basically attempts the screaming maneuver again.
Shit, you can do both of these.
Yeah.
He's angry now. You pissed him off.
Shit.
He does have a lot of faces. He can just scream.
So that's going to be a might defense for old Joester.
Oh, yo.
He explodes. Joe does.
He explodes. Fresh.
The sound.
Shit.
Yeah. The sound reverberated in the armor, making it louder and louder in his ears. And he explodes. Where did Joe go? I didn't even see him.
You also noticed that once your turn had ended, as he's clutching at the eyes, you can see the initial wound you left on his chest, starting to kind of knit and close together.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So that's why, despite the fact that you've been raining down blows on him, he doesn't seem to be he hasn't slowed too much.
Rejuvenating.
I'm debating. I'll give him a minute and then I'll just roll his defense. He's not back at 234.
That seems fair.
Just
Well.
So how's everyone doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Can't complain.
Is Sam still playing or did she die?
No.
She for sure died. Okay, so it's 234. I'm gonna go ahead and make his roll. The might defense.
Oh, he beast mode.
Oh, all right. So, this time he's seems to have the armor seems to have compensated a little bit for the unexpected sonic attack, and this time he kind of tunes it out. And it is.
Well, he's taking a pot shot.
Well, it's now his turn. So.
Joe smash. Joe smash.
Let it ride. Fuck him up.
Gotta have the Joe smash.
Spend 6 points in weight.
Yeah, can we do that for him? I think that's what he would want to do.
What would he want to do?
Spend all his might on effort.
Oh yeah, just punch him right in the jaw. He's just pissed now. We'll have him. I'll roll up his exception again.
Nope.
Yep, he
Sabotage.
misses with his exception. Still seems to be a little shaken from getting deafened.
Yep.
Floyd's up.
Floyd's going back to shooting with his little pot shotter.
Okay. Speed attack. Yep. And once again, you're kind of shooting it. You're trying not to hit your buddy. And
I don't care about him.
It doesn't seem to be working out for you.
I only care about his suit.
Al, it is your turn again.
Al, you have to do all the damage because Floyd does not do that.
Well, are we even gonna be able to kill it?
Floyd can't.
Okay.
Might have to go use my shoddy arm.
I need to be wary of spending more effort.
Just attack.
Yeah.
Get those 20s. You've done it before. You can do it again.
Ooh. So you go to lash out at him with your whip,
And your hand falls off.
and somehow magically, despite being blinded, he reaches up and swats at the thing, and kind of yanks you down, like so your face smashes into the chair in front of you. You take 2 points of might damage.
Oh, geez.
Sorry about that.
Should've just spent the effort.
A lot of things happened while you were gone.
Apparently.
You can. I'll. You know what? I'll actually give you the. I'll give you the decision about where this goes. So, you can catch your. You can put your concentration into catching yourself so that you don't smash your face into the chair. And that'll be your round. Or you can take the damage and swat at him again.
Take the damage, swat at him again.
All right. Fuck yeah. Like bleeding from the
All
nose
right.
now, but.
All right.
And this one again, you're just kind of you're so overbalanced because he pulled down on the first whip that this one just kind of goes wild. Oh,
Yeah, I wanna this blind
so-
enemy just fucked you up.
Nick, he attempted to scream at you again, and you shrugged it off, but then you missed your exception. That was what happened to you last round.
Okay.
I've been blinded him.
Yeah, Evan did blind him.
Nice.
But he's healing, so be careful.
I had a great round of attacks one days ago.
Followed by a terrible round of attacks.
Yeah, and he's healing. He's regenerating.
So he reaches back into the waistband with the other arm. So he's got the pistol still in one hand, and he pulls out like a dirty-looking scalpel and tries to gash at Nick with it.
All right, my defense.
Yes. So you sense that he basically sinks it into a chink in the armor, manages to get purchase on you, and you can kind of feel it, the kind of blood seeping out of the wound. It's 4 damage raw.
Okay, so 1 damage
Yeah.
I took.
Yep. And
All right.
then again with the incessant screaming.
Yeah,
roll
he
a
gets to
might
keep yelling
defense.
at you, by the way.
Oh, he just keeps on yelling?
Yeah.
Why have you guys not killed him yet? All right, so
I've done nothing.
another might defense.
All right.
Okay. All right. So yeah, for twice now.
I've just turned off the speakers of the suit at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
And in fact, we'll consider that an asset on attempts to resist it in the future. The fact that you've shrugged it off twice now.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's its turn. Nick.
My turn.
We need you to do work. Floyd's not doing a thing.
Alright, I guess another exception to the face. And here's hoping for another high roll. And no.
Yep.
That was-
Unfortunately, yeah. It just kind of laughs at you. You can see sparks kind of roiling over it for a second, but you're with your deafness and kind of your headache from the sonar attack, the sonic attack, I should say. You're a little less than confident in your paranormal abilities. Floyd.
All right. How close? Shotgun arm. So I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move here, which will be my turn, right?
Yeah. That is correct. Al.
Well, guess we just gotta keep on going.
Just don't fall over again, please.
Try not
Yeah. It looks almost completely healed now. It's healing up pretty quick.
Cool. Well, yeah, I gotta be mindful of my pool. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Yep. You're flailing wildly now, just why won't this thing die? But not able to gain any purchase on it. On its turn, now that it is effectively like healed up again, it's regained the use of its eye.
Yes.
Again?
Actually, no. Like, it's healed the superficial wounds, but the eyes are kind of milky. So he like drops, sheathes both of his weapons now and tries to just like scrabble at like go for Nick's chest, and it's like you see now the thing's got some pretty thick like wiry arms, and it tries to just like rip open like this like between the neck and the chest. Roll a might defense.
No, thank you. I would not like this to happen.
It gains. It is able to gain purchase and kind of start ripping at it. So let's see.
It's got a difficulty higher than 5. Wow.
You can. Well.
Because I'm trained, so it beats my, 1 step of difficulty.
Oh, you're trained in it.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, it says that there. All right, so it doesn't impact the right. Okay, yeah, so no, never mind. You're able to like kind of bat his hands away, to keep him from.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Right, exactly. No. And it is your turn now.
All right, I'm going to.
Keep the sissy fight up. No.
Yeah, keep this his fight up. No, I'm going to actually try to bear hug him into place. I've got the asset to protect myself from his scream if he tries to keep on doing that at me. So I'm gonna try to grab his arms and just say no and like pin him down.
Okay, might roll.
It's a crazy plan.
And I will be using. No, I'm not gonna use that because it's my hit points. So yeah, might roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same deal where he like
No.
shoves you off. Yeah, exactly.
No.
You're kind of grappling, but neither of you can really gain purchase on the other one. Floyd.
How do I use this shotgun
It's a
R5?
full-on slap fight.
So it's 6 damage. It's a heavy weapon. And from that range, I'm pretty sure you risk hitting both of them. Like Nick would have to make a speed check to kind of dodge out of the way of that. But you also take like an inability, so like a negative asset to firing it because you're not trained in like heavy weapons or anything like that.
So what does that mean? Oh, so like it'll make it more difficult. Got it.
Yeah. Difficulty is raised by a step.
All right. Can I move over 1 box and shoot? Would that change?
Yeah, you can do 1 box. That. I mean, it's a shotgun. It's got a pretty like it hitting only stuff within the same 5-foot square is like difficult to count on.
It's okay, Floyd. We all know exactly how this is gonna end up. Nick knew he was gonna die at your hand
All right.
from the moment he met you.
Floyd's doing it. Floyd's
All
doing
right.
it
Roll the speed check.
for me.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. Do you want +3 damage or do you want a minor effect?
Damn it.
You going with the damage?
I don't know.
Can the minor effect be not hitting me at all?
Yeah.
All right. I want that then because he's my
Okay.
tanky man.
All right. So you deal 6 damage to him. So you plug him with this thing, from like fairly close up, and you just see like rip into like the faces now across his chest are like look like completely tattered. And you see it like look up with rage in all of its faces at you, Floyd.
Somebody stop that guy from coming for me.
And it is
I tried to
Al's
pin
turn.
him down. We just got a slappy fight.
Al's turn again.
Al, I need you to do something because this is
Okay.
rough going next turn.
Alright, I will. Fuck it. Spend the effort point.
I don't think you're his type, Al.
Doing it. Hey,
All right, that's not bad.
Every time I
Um,
spend an effort, it's like,
Yeah. So you drill him
Shut up.
and
jerk.
you lash him across the chest again.
Alright.
Second attack,
Yep, no effort.
Come on.
and this one misses.
Guys, it was nice knowing you guys.
All right. So again, you see the
R.I.P.
wounds
Floyd.
kind of knit a little bit again on its turn. It goes to like take another shot at Floyd with its pistol. Floyd, roll speed defense. Yeah, you're gonna take a smacking from that one. That's four might damage.
Good. I'm only at 2.
Then it attempts to scream again, and go ahead and roll the. You do have an asset, but go ahead and roll the might check to resist.
Right. So beats a 5.
Yes. So yeah, once again, like you can tell that it's screaming, but the fact that you're already kind of deafened, plus the fact that you've, shrugged it off. The suit is filtering pretty actively now, for it. So you're all good, and it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna try to accept you in the face again, and hopefully roll high.
Okay.
4. It's gonna be a 4. It's better than 4.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's a
And
thing
and
of
you,
4.
And you don't have an asset for that, right?
Unless you give me an asset for that.
I mean, like, I
you
just
can
don't
always
want to.
give me.
I don't want to forget anything. Yeah, no. So like, you can feel kind of your power starting to wake up again, but he's still kind of shrugging you off. And it is Floyd's turn again.
Yep, Floyd's just, it's a double barrel shotgun, I'm assuming, so fuck it.
Double barrel arm.
Let it rattle.
It's got both the humorous and the.
Rattling off them shells.
It's a speed, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This time, you basically like misjudge you were so amped off shooting it well the first time that you misjudged the kickback and just shoot it into the floor. Al's turn.
Okay.
All right.
I've rolled nothing with 17.
Yeah, you really have.
Second attack. All right. So you managed to hit it once, and again, you're basically like reopening the same scar on it over and over again that you watch knit once again.
You're giving me extra damage, right, for the 17?
What?
17 isn't. It's 18, 19, 20.
I thought it was 17 plus 1, 18 plus 2, 19
Oh, is it just
plus
not coming
3.
up because he's not rolling it as an attack?
Yeah, he's not using it through his character sheet.
Okay. I'm just gonna negate what he gets back because we've done that probably twice. Was it twice or was it 3 times?
I haven't rolled
Start using your character sheet, buddy.
I haven't rolled a 17 4 times.
Oh, okay. So then we'll give him 2. All right. So he's definitely looking a little bit rougher, but still on his feet, still up and at him. On his turn, he's going to basically same deal. Attempt to. He sees that Floyd's having the least effect at skating away from his attack, so he tries to shoot Floyd again.
Come on, Floyd! Oh, Floyd's dead.
Does that actually? How much might do you have?
2.
Okay, so yeah, so you take 2 might damage and 2 speed damage, and you're debilitated now. So this
Congrats.
one, basically, like your entire
I got
chest now is covered in like 3rd-degree burns. Like your skin is like this pockmarked. You're not in a good way, and let's see. You can smell like your own skin kind of bubbling and shit.
Good.
Debilitated. And that is, now I'll have to remember, I think it just adds a difficulty onto everything, and like you
Yep.
can't, your move is decreased or something. But I'm gonna be extra sure. Debilitated. Next. Okie dokie. This one said debilitated. Okay, so you can't take any actions other than to move, and you can
cool, yeah.
wait. No, okay, so you're not debilitated. You're impaired, right?
Yeah.
Hail is the normal state. All 3 stat pools are at 1 or higher. When a Hail PC takes enough damage to boost one of the stat pools to 0, becomes impaired. Yeah, okay. So you're wounded critically, but when you apply effort, it costs 1 extra effort per level, or 1 extra point per level, and that is it.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yeah, so you're much better off. Yeah, I was like, wow, that seems really intense. And then attempts to scream again. So Nick, I'm going to need a might check.
Yay! No.
No, that gets it.
That does it.
That
Never
gets
mind.
it with the because you're
With the trained
you've got 2
and the
levels.
asset. Yeah.
Yeah. So you are all good, and then it is your turn again.
All right. I'm going to exception with a level of effort.
Okay. Roll it up.
Roll F1.
Thank
18. All right.
Thanks.
So you do 6 damage then, right?
Yep. 6 damage.
Okay. So you finally you're just like enough, and put your hand up in front of it and blast this thing with the static energy your armor's built up. All that ozone that you guys smelled when you first got onto the recursion, his armor has just been kind of storing it up, and he blasts this creature with it. And it's looking, it kind of staggers a little bit away from it, and seems to kind of be shaking its head to try and clear it, get regain its footing. Definitely looking the worse for wear. All right, Floyd, it is your turn.
Floyd's gonna try and handgun it now.
Okay, roll it up.
Shotgun. Blah.
Yep. All right. So you once again, it's like you're trying to you could hit the broadside of a barn. You still kind of oblivious to the fact that your enthrall's wearing off. You're still and we could put you in a rom-com and all, trying to sell it on what plays you're gonna put.
You could be the entire Greek chorus.
Right. Al's turn.
Okay. Fuck it. We're gonna need to recover after this anyway. So spend another effort point.
Good luck. We need this.
Okay, so roll using the character sheet. I just click the thing next to might.
Yep.
Yep, correct the little d20. Or if you have it set up as an attack.
Well, I don't know. Does it beat it with the effort point? Probably not.
No, so to do the effort, you have to go into where it says effort and change it to 1, and then you roll might, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I think it would just add the
Yeah, true.
so it beats 4, I guess.
Yeah, it's just the important stuff is for when he does those rolls that would have special effects, you can see on his exception. It reminds me +2 damage.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So yep, the first one does not hit.
Oh man, do I want to go down to 2 might?
That's a dangerous game to play. I've fallen over and died a little bit.
You can feel yourself kind of tiring out, you're not used to this. You've trained for it, but this sort of prolonged combat, this guy just won't go down.
Fuck it.
You're sweating now.
Going down
Dude.
one.
Doing it?
Yep. Oh.
All right, cool.
All right, minor effect or +3 damage.
Yeah, fucking just damage him up, man.
Damage.
You take the damage?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. It is on its last legs now. You effectively you're like you rip all the way across its chest and just leave this bloody furrow. Like you can't even really tell that there are faces on its chest now. It's basically just like a bag of shredded chicken. This guy.
Chicken.
But somehow he remains on his feet, and
And he gets to go now, right?
yeah, he tries to turns the handgun and tries to shoot at Al. So Al, go ahead and roll a speed defense. In fact, did that drained you down to 0 might, right?
No, I have 2.
Oh, okay.
That
I thought.
was
All right,
bringing him to 2.
gotcha. So go ahead and roll a speed defense.
Can I put effort in this?
You can.
Alright, so I'll pull 2 effort or 1 in, so down to 10 speed. Hey.
Hey, all right, good shit. You nailed it.
Takes 1 damage.
Yes, he just
No.
he smacks himself in the face with the gun. Just ow.
Negative. All right. So, then I need one from Nick for the screaming. The screaming. Might defense. Ooh,
Oh boy.
you're
Hold on, because it's trained. It's 3, and it's
Yeah.
an asset, so it's 4. Damn it.
yeah. So right, you're incredibly close. You're starting to recover your hearing now. You're like, oh man, I'm glad that's finally passing. And the first thing you hear is just the booming scream again. So you take 3 damage that ignore armor.
Damn it all.
And then it is your turn, my good sir.
Yeah, it is definitely nap time in the Humvee as we head back.
Finish him out. Floyd's on the ground dying. Nick, if you finish him, I promise not to paint anything on your armor.
We both know it's a lie, Floyd.
It's
We
not,
both-
it's so
We
true.
both know that's a lie.
We've been down this road before. We both know it's a lie.
Every time I save you from something.
It's the truth be true.
Oh,
So
so
close.
close. Yeah, the thing, this creature still just like barely on its feet, trying to like slash and tear and rend and shoot at you guys. Like, it's just not having any of this paranormal bullshit. Floyd's turn.
Yo, Floyd's just trying to shoot him with his little pop cap.
Okay.
Pew, pew.
That does not hit.
And Floyd's the worst.
Al,
Pew, pew, pew.
bring it home, baby.
For the love of all that is holy hell, kill this
Oh!
damn thing.
Oh shit.
That's
You-
extra damage too.
It's plus 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You effectively you lash out with the whip. Actually, you're a Critical Role fan. I'll let you do this. How do you want to do this?
So let's see here. I'm gonna send the whip into its mouth and wrap it around its tongue, pull it out,
Okay. So you
or
you
make an
managed
attempt
to.
at that and just kind of put the whip through the back of its throat because I can't really.
Okay. So
Try.
you realize you didn't even really know you could do it before, but as you're extending the whip, you straighten it, and it basically just becomes like a spear you shoot through the back of this thing's throat. And it kind of hangs off of it, and then slumps down to the ground.
We got him.
Did we?
Nick just starts kicking the corpse just over and over again.
And you notice that as it's in front of you, Nick, it does its eyes pop back open and it retches a little bit, and then you stomp the shit out of it, and you're basically keep stomping until its head is a bloody pulp. And yeah, so since that was I know typically in the Strange you don't give out experience for combat, but that was a slugfest. I gotta commend you guys. I'm just gonna give everybody an XP for that.
Yay!
And
That was rough.
He is deadzo.
Floyd needs a recovery roll.
We all need a recovery roll. And like a blankie and...
Do you guys have... So, I'm pretty sure Nick is on an hour, so Nick needs an hour rest, but I don't know where you guys are at on your track.
Floyd has used none.
Oh,
I-
alright, then just...
I have
you
my
can-
10 minutes, 1 hour, 10 hours.
Okay, so are you
Yeah.
gonna...
Yes! I'll take 7, please.
Okay.
Well, if Nick needs to use his hour, shouldn't we all just use the hour?
What? No, I'm good now.
Alright, so Floyd, you got 7 to spend. Make
Yeah,
sure
add
you...
them back.
Yeah, alright,
Come on.
make sure you change it on your character sheet.
Oh, I
To
did
the-
boo.
Alright.
Oh, thank the fluffy lord.
Whoa, are we just assuming that you're gonna have an hour to rest here now? Like, what?
No, I'm not assuming
Whoa.
that. I used my action.
I'll let you save the number, but so unless you're holding up here and like in the facility for an hour.
Oh. Fuck no, we're going to the Mako.
Yeah, I thought we were driving back home. I thought
Oh,
Nick was gonna
wait,
lay out in the
wait,
back of the truck
wait,
and just
wait.
not do a damn thing.
Wait, have we
so
discovered
you're
anything?
literally you're just fleeing out of here after
No,
killing this thing.
no,
Okay.
no, we've discovered nothing. We're not
I mean,
running
we'll
away.
we'll
All
cross that bridge when we come to it. I guess is what I'm getting at.
All right,
Yeah.
my apologies.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Nick got too
But yeah,
hungry.
combat is over, so you can do whatever you'd like.
Can I search a stupid body?
Yes, you do
Oh
search.
wait,
his
no.
stupid
Oh
body.
wait, it did. Okay, it did the 10 minutes. 7.
And let's see. So you find a bit wallet there,
Yeah.
that you recognize as being like a. It's essentially like the Rukian version of like a gift card. It's not like tied to like a. It's. Yeah, I don't know a better way to explain it than that. It's in a format that's typically given from one person to another. And it has on it 100 bits.
1 bit.
Yeah,
It's a single
one,
bit gift wallet.
1 bit.
You also see that it's got the little laser pistol.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You taking that?
Hell yeah, I'm taking that. I got hit by it enough.
Okay. So yeah, it's a handgun. It's a medium handgun, deals 4 damage.
Oh yeah.
No, I need it.
Which we're also not trained in doing.
Right.
I don't care.
How many
Why
guns?
don't you
do
give it to Al? Al actually is trained in this.
I killed it too.
Fine. I tossed the stupid laser gun to L.
You have 2 guns already.
One of my arm's a gun.
Yeah, you'll get. Yeah, it's better.
Now, do you have actually? Oh no, you did bring out extra shells for. How do you reload your arm gun?
I haven't figured this out yet. That's why I only shot it twice.
He's also got the scalpel. That would only deal. That would be considered a light weapon. It only deals medium damage because of the force he was putting behind it. So that if you take that, that would be 2 damage. Light melee weapon.
The gun
And
does.
There you go, Floyd. That's more your side.
I don't want this. There's no pizza on it.
you see that like as you get closer to it and examine it, you see there's like kind of like a spongy sort of like construction, like mass around like the base of the creature's throat. That's the only other thing really that's distinguishing about it.
Can I poke it?
Yeah, roll a might save.
Roll poke.
Or a might check, I should say.
Yeah. I gotta get back to my character sheet, which I just minimized.
Okay. You poke it, and like immediately the mouth kind of like pops open, almost as if in rigor, and you're hit with one of those sonic blasts. You take 4 damage that ignores armor, and you are deafened for 1 minute. That's all that it's got on it.
I'm going to investigate his little lair over here.
Okay, you're gonna root around in there.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna
You-
take my 10-minute action.
the only reason you're really able to do it even is because of the armor like filtering out the air and everything. It's essentially what looks like the like kind of just like mangled corpses and shit like that of they appear to be like researchers and also maybe subjects based on the fact that a lot of them are wearing the scrubs. You think maybe like 4 or 5 distinct bodies, but
Am I finding any heads?
they're pretty chopped up.
The dude had them all.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is like I'm just confirming that it's like he's been chopping people up, making a nest out of their bodies, and stealing their heads.
You do not find any heads. No.
does this terminal turn on?
You attempt to activate it, but you don't really see an interface for it. Or no, actually, it's the one at the front. Yeah, okay. So it turns on, although the screen on the right side has the laser bolt through it, so it doesn't really turn on all the way. And it says it's got the same start screen, basically the Project Awakening start screen there.
Can I present my badge to that and see if it'll like auto sign in?
Yeah. So you walk up and you kind of like insert your badge reader into a spot within the terminal, and it kind of flashes and gives you the warm, welcome, head researcher, greeting, and essentially just asks if you're like to run activation sequence. Like it's a very specific terminal. It doesn't boot to Windows and you can like choose different options. It just asks you if you want to turn this thing on.
So it's just a yes or no. It's not like a diagnostic or anything like that.
Not that's immediately apparent. It asks if you want to spin up the system.
Okay. Do we want to see if we can, or?
Fire it up.
Okay, I'm gonna wait. Oh no, Floyd's probably gonna say fire it up too. So you know what? Screw it. Activate it.
Okay. So you fire up the system and you can hear like just a thrumming kind of within the it seems like within the entirety of the room itself, like underneath the floor, within the walls, the whole room just kind of seems to vibrate. And each one of the individual workstations, you can see the screens turn on. So now there's kind of like this milky glow throughout the room. It's much better lit now. And what you see you'd have to you don't really see much else besides that. Here from your vantage point.
All right, I'm gonna get up and start searching around the room, see if the new light sources have helped. / see if I can see what's on the different screens and what they're going through.
Sure. Okay, so you take a look at all the screens, and essentially what you gather is in one scene you're watching someone walk across a threshold and appear in another world where it's entirely covered over with water, and there's medieval style, or not medieval, but Victorian era sea vessels and stuff like that. You see someone picking through things at a yard sale on a place that looks like Earth, and shaking a little item and then blowing themselves the entire block up, and just a ton of little instances like that.
So do these look like recursions that we've heard about?
You're pretty sure the one is Earth. The majority of them seem to be Rook, although I messed up and didn't describe any that actually were from Rook. But they're actually during the translation gate one, the initial side is Rook, and then the Victorian era one or whatever doesn't seem like anything you recognize or have heard about.
Gotcha.
And this just plays so I'm kind of at a loss to keep describing them, but essentially they're people interacting with strange artifacts or translating or things of that nature.
So
and it's just on an endless loop. You never see the same. You don't see the same one twice after watching for the 10 minutes or whatever that you're there so far.
So does it seem like Al? Unfortunately, Floyd, come here.
No.
Does it look like they're trying to quicken people? I guess. Kind of, hey, look at this and see. Why are they showing that this? They said that this should not be dealing with the translation incident at all, right? But we see things translating. We see the cipher stuff.
Did say this is this is not a translation incident. They're not connected at all. No, I don't trust what they've said. They did not warn me that there was gonna be traps up in this bitch, and then this motherfucker's hanging out in the corner. Like, none of this shit was expected.
Like it looks to me like they're trying to like force like I'm trained in the strange. I'm gonna roll that skill.
To what end?
Does it look like they're trying to like force quicken these people and like do weird strange things to them, or is it like, knowing my knowledge of the strange, is it can I tell what their goal was to show all these videos?
Well, your knowledge of the strange is your knowledge of the strange doesn't really, to the best of your knowledge, that's not possible. But you've definitely, like, everyone's got their story that you've come across since you've kind of entered this sort of like subculture of society that's quickened or, you know, knows about the strange. Everyone has their story about how they stumbled across it, and this seems to be just a giant collection of those stories. You can't really glean an insight into why they would be doing that from just based on your knowledge of the strange, but what you do know from your knowledge of the strange is that what you're suggesting isn't possible.
Okay, so they wouldn't be able, like, just like they can show them and expose them to as much strange as possible, but as far as I know, there's no way they could quicken like those test subjects. This Project Awakening is just bad science.
If that's what it's for,
yeah.
That's so yeah. That's your takeaway based on, you know, looking at what's here, and you know that you're essentially what you run through in your mind is kind of like, are they? No, like they couldn't be. That, I mean, that wouldn't work. Like this is like, yeah, this is junk science. This isn't.
Gotcha.
This is going nowhere.
This is Floyd science. This is
right.
It should not work. Somehow people are really putting their faith in it, but really it should just be locked up. Floyd science.
If it's Floyd science, it's working like a charm.
Sure it is, buddy. Are those third-degree burns?
They're healed, sort of, probably.
Oh yeah, if you restored the damage to that track, then you're back to up to.
That's right. Well, I lost some more, and then I had to restore it again.
Yeah. Right.
A lot of shit happened to Floyd this turn.
So you would say that Floyd spends a lot of time impaired. You'd almost say that maybe he is always impaired in some way.
Floyd is
like,
not.
Maybe his impairment isn't related to damage. I'm just but yeah, that's what you gather.
Okie dokie. Is there like, are there any other rooms that we've missed?
Not that we've seen, but there's probably secret rooms.
Probably secret room. What's the symbol for secret door again?
Damn it, secret door.
Trying to think what else we can do. Oh, we got the hard drive. That's the important part.
Yeah, maybe there's something on that, but
we don't have the expertise to crack it, so I think we should probably head back to Harmonium and
get to Shalom Dar.
Yeah. Shamalama Ding Dong, and say, hey, can you see what's inside this?
Also, we're agreeing that we are not going back to that garbage ass.
No, the choir? No, fuck the choir.
Yeah, those guys.
Choir poisoned me and deafened me. I'm done with choir.
Yeah, I almost died. Up in this bitch.
More importantly, I got slightly poisoned. I mean, you were dying is bad, but I got slightly inconvenienced by them.
Hey, we got bits, and I got a gun.
Success.
Al's just happy.
We did it.
Wait, did we get like little pop-up that said we successfully looted the dungeon? We gotta keep on exploring until we get that.
You're so are you heading back to the Quiet Cabal then? Was that your objective?
I believe so. Any dissenting or anything anyone still wants to do around here? I mean, we've looted the place pretty much dry at this point.
Yeah.
Also, from what I can see, it says mission accomplished. So
Clever.
Unless there's anything more we can learn from them being running anything else. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we'll be able to, like, I don't know. Like, okay, so the data pads, they have some form of camera, one assumes. So we take pictures of all the equipment in this lab, and, you know, like, we record some of the videos of everyone's translation stories, or Quicken stories,
I mean, we have.
or though. And we have the drive. So yeah, I think it's time to head back and let the science people actually figure stuff out.
Yeah, if only we had our science bitch with us today, but unfortunately we came empty-handed.
So it's entirely up to you guys at this point. We can probably get through, if you want to talk to Shalimdar about the stuff that you found, we can probably get through about that now and maybe come up with a game plan for next time. Or we can call it here and do that at the start of next time and go from there.
So I guess I would say that if we do it next time, it's like the update. Are we gonna have more people with us next week?
I mean, that's always the ideal. So like this time we would have had Woods if his, you know.
Sure.
I think Annie is done being tied up. Well, she's like never sure, but it's like the time period where she definitely couldn't play. I think this is the last week of that. So I'm not sure.
Because that'd be a solid way to kind of update them on what
To kind of catch everybody up, yeah, like get everybody around the table, as it were, and just kind of bring them in.
Yep.
Yeah. And
But we do have recovery rolls and shit like that we can do. So actually, Evan, your recovery roll that you did, no, it was not Evan's. It was Nick's.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping that 8, as I'm laying in the back of the Mako, just going, ugh.
And Evan, actually, I think I don't know if you get 1 extra for being around me.
Oh. I did not.
Because I put you at ease.
It's so true.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Some fucking how.
Okay. Well, I guess then why don't we head back? And I think that makes sense. What Pat's saying is like, stepping through the like what we learned from this and setting up the plan of action for the next session will be like the equivalent of briefing the people that haven't made it yet.
Yeah, because if we have Annie and if JJ figures his shit out.
Well, and there's also Kyle and Papa Connor.
That's true.
I like referring to him as the Elder McDonald.
We might have to resolve like
Something first.
Yeah, before we bring that many new people in, but maybe not actually.
I'm up for whatever makes the most sense.
Yeah.
in your mind.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But yeah,
No
that's
sense.
fine.
Just start throwing everyone just randomly appearing.
So basically, consensus is we call it here for now. You guys got out.
Barely.
Yeah, you escaped with the skin of your teeth and a hard drive and some questions.
Some loots.
Yeah, and a gun, of course.
Can I go
So-
shopping in the city? Like, is that something I can go do?
You could totally do that. Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Now, then, so what I'm going to ask probably for you guys to do at some point before next time is maybe like we can revive that email thread where I was sending out the books and everything, or
Sure.
just like start a new one. And I would kind of want, because so that puts me in a situation where because you guys are going to make a decision at the start of next session, so I need some I want to know where everyone here is at with like what your recommendations are going to be necessarily, so that I can plan as many of those potential branches.
Well, I mean,
Because I don't want us to have to do like a 30-minute session next time where it's like, oh shit, I don't think they were going to do that. And
we
then
can
I'm
quickly talk it out right now. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you want to give us like a... So, like, should we do the Shyamalan Ding Dong thing and then start planning that so we can plan for it, and then we can just...
yeah, if it's gonna make it easier for Connor,
it's up to you guys. However you guys want to play it.
I'm
'Cause
not
that's-
going anywhere.
Because that's stuff that can be done like either we can do it right now, or we can, like I said, we can do it via email. There's really no visual component. So
I mean, we've come to the agreement that we're not going back to the unified chorus or whatever the fuck.
yeah,
it's called.
you said you're going to the Quiet Cabal.
we're going to Quiet Cabal. We hate Unified Chorus. We don't know what's on the drive. I mean, I guess it's really going to come down to like what's on the drive and what do we figure out.
So essentially, what's in the box?
Yeah.
What's in the box?
So where's the box going to direct me? Because Floyd's real like one path. Like
We've noticed.
where's the fun? Where's the fun if you didn't have a person go running and grabbing garbage to throw at the?
I'm more curious about what kind of plays does Floyd write? If this is Floyd's personality, like, tell me. I want to hear a story. I want to hear a story right now, Pat. I want to know about the last play that Floyd wrote.
The last play.
And also who was in it.
Who was in it?
Yeah, like just I want. This is how we're gonna spend the rest of our time. I want to know, like how Floyd has this opinion of himself. Like, what is his masterpiece?
So last star that was in Floyd's play, you may have heard of this young man. Actually, the series that he was in recently had its 20th year anniversary. Daniel Radcliffe off Broadway in Floyd's play.
Damn.
Right? I know.
What was it about?
So Floyd had this idea, this epiphany, if you will, that the best play would be one where the people involved pretended to be the audience. And they were watching a comedy show. So Daniel Radcliffe is in the middle. So he's front and center. Behind him is a stage. In front of him is a stage. Or not stage, seating for people. And he put on a one-man show. But he gets heckled by one individual. But this individual has an interesting life story. This individual is Salma Hayek. Because she's also a bit older and can't quite get the same type of a pull she used to. So you get this it's like a zoom out, right? So it's a new set. And it's Salma Hayek's life.
It's a zoom out in a play.
Yeah, that's
well,
great.
no, but it like zooms. You can see it zoom out because like the set moves. It's on like a treadmill, so the set fucking flies through, right? Like this. Shoo. Right? And so now we're getting Salma Hayek's life narrated by Daniel Radcliffe. Because if you've got the talent, use it.
But you have Salma Hayek. Why don't you have Salma Hayek narrate Salma Hayek's life?
Hold on. God.
Sorry.
Wait, are you the playwright now?
I don't know. Am I a better player than you, Floyd?
Can you get Daniel Radcliffe and Salma Hayek in the same play? I think not. Eat it, Nick. Eat your heart out.
Well, the more I think about it, okay.
Anyway, now we're in Salma Hayek's life, and it's her childhood, and it's going to help you understand why she's heckling. What has led her up to being this bitter person? So
Who plays Salma Hayek?
That's a random actor.
Actor?
Trying to make her breakthrough as a 7-year-old. And she has a pet. She's a pet dog who eats toilet paper rolls, who wants to be front and center in the scenes. Gets hit by a car. Imagine the dismay. Imagine the emotions. 7-year-old.
Did you just kill an imaginary version of my dog?
I did not. I don't know what you're talking about. The emotions that happen. You expect people to provide sympathy. No, they're just mean. They're like, who cares? It's just a dog. So, she, the 7-year-old girl, develops an intense anger that it goes unresolved for years. So, you shoot 5 years later. Shoot. Right? So now you've got this 13-year-old girl. So it's 6 years because I can't deal with it. So now you've got this 13-year-old girl. And just angry. She's barely getting through school. People force her to go. They talk about juvenile detention, but she's too smart for that. So you just get to watch her struggle, just to give you an idea of who she is, struggle. 5 years later, she doesn't go to college. She doesn't make it. She gets the denial letters, the rejections. You can feel it. You can feel the pain. She gets rejected from all the schools she wants. She only applied to some. So now she's got to try and make ends meet. 18-year-old girl. How are you going to make ends meet?
What's the play called?
What's the name?
A day in the life. Period. That's it.
Is it a period like the punctuation mark, or does it say is it like
This is the
comma
word period.
No, just a punctuation mark. Period.
Okay, all right, cool. A day in
Because
the
it's
life.
meant to show how anyone could turn out this way. How anyone, given the right circumstances, could be like these people. So
I'm just picturing Floyd narrating this as we're driving back to town, and it's just staring at him like, what the fuck?
So you didn't even hear it. You don't even hear the best part.
All right, enlighten me.
So 18-year-old girl has to make ends meet, and the only way she knows how.
Who plays the 18-year-old Salma Hayek?
Again, doesn't matter.
These
It was Salma Hayek.
Because we flash now. We get back to Daniel Radcliffe and Salma Hayek, and we get to see Daniel Radcliffe react to this taunting, this heckling that Salma Hayek is providing. This old bitter Salma Hayek. Daniel Radcliffe finally shows her the compassion she needs. He walks up to her. He walks over to Salma Hayek. He puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "Knock, knock." She obviously is thrown by this because what comic walks up and says "knock, knock" when being heckled? So she says, "Who is there?" And he says, "Your dog." And she's like, "What? What does this even mean?" And then he says, and then it's the end.
That's how it
the
ends?
end.
Bravo!
lights down, curtains out.
A masterpiece. Stunning. Holy shit.
How do you get these actors?
Doesn't matter.
Whoa.
All right.
What do you mean, how do I get these actors?
So, I think we'll do a quick rundown to at least give you guys a. So you make it back to Harmonious with no interruptions really. Like I said, it's a pretty expansive wasteland, and you turn the. We'll kind of fast forward through the process of that.
Can I use my hour roll?
Sure. Yeah, it takes, like I said, it's out there quite a ways, so you have more than enough time to make your hour roll. Okay. So it doesn't apply to you, right? It is just 4
No,
for you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's just 4 for me.
All right.
Fuck.
So you have 4. Okay. You can do some recovering.
You get 5. You didn't add the one that I give you.
Yes, he gets 5. So you get back to the Quiet Cabal, and he sees Shalomdar sees the state that you're in. Hustles you into the conference room. Sees the state that you're in and offers you lodgings there for the night, while they're cracking the drive, etc., etc. So, in effect, if you want to go ahead and do your 10-hour now as well, we'll say you reconvene at the start of the following day with him.
When do we get them back?
When you, so it's assumed that the 10-hour roll is going to be after a sleep, so then it goes back to the one action.
Okay.
Like, it resets.
Alright. And so it's possible then to sleep and not get everything back.
Yeah, I'm not full right now.
Yeah, it's just like, I think it more accurately mimics reality, because, going to sleep won't put you back.
Right.
I mean,
I'm back at full.
although D&D is like that too, where you just get a roll. So yeah, when he calls you all in like early in the morning, after examining the drive, and he got a very solemn expression on his face. He says, "I need you all to sit down. We have to discuss our next steps. What you brought me is very serious." And he describes to you that, he says, essentially, this Project Awakening is an attempt at quickening people. So he confirms that Nick's theory was correct.
Nick immediately flips it like junk science.
And so you didn't really look into the. He says they're using essentially their theory seems to be a preposterous one, but it's one that the council must have thought had some credence because they put, there was a moratorium on this kind of research. It's completely forbidden en route to research anything along these lines. And so now that you've translated to this recursion, you know how incredibly rare that is. So this is like Rapture, if it were its own dimension. There's really not a lot you can't do in terms of science en route. That's their life's blood. So it's really grave when he says you're not allowed to research this topic. But they were attempting to use all-song terminals. Their theory was that everyone who becomes a recursor, who becomes quickened, has an experience with the strange that awakens them. But the same experience isn't the same for everyone. He looks at Al and kind of points at you and says, "How was it that you were introduced to the strange?" He asks Al.
Al!
Asks me, sorry.
He asks Al, how was it that you were introduced to the strange?
That's a great question.
Didn't you come up with it before?
No, this wasn't anything that we ever did as part of the backstory, I don't think.
Yeah.
Weren't you kidnapped?
Or is this like just me getting to the agency, or is there like a specific event that I'm supposed to know?
Like when for you this would be your like.
It's just when like the master got taken down.
No, it was when you got kidnapped, because like you were at some point or whatever, you were a kid on Earth or some other recursion, right? Who got like black bagged in the middle of the night and brought to this, brought into slavery or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was when you were like, your introduction to it was kind of forceful. You were like, oh shit,
Okay, yeah, I guess I didn't connect that to the strange as well. My bad. Makes sense.
But that, I mean, you didn't realize that you were quickened until much later, but that was what kind of, introduced you to this, like, kind of, awakened those powers in you that, you didn't know you had. And so effectively he says, so you weren't in that situation alone. There were other people there, but you became a recursor as a result. So the theory is that while there's there are experiences that unlock this for everyone. Everyone's experience is different. The same experience might not work for everyone. So their idea of this inundation therapy is that if they force these, use the all song to kind of create this almost virtual inundation with these potential quickening experiences, eventually they'll find a trigger within every person that would awaken that power. So he says, I don't know what could have gone wrong. There's no research notes in here regarding, whatever happened seemed to be pretty instantaneous. They were alive 1 minute and dead the next. So there's nothing in here indicating whether or not that is the cause of our current problems, or how it's related or what went wrong. But they're definitely using that facility for something other than what they told you, the story they told you.
Good thing we didn't go back to them.
Yeah, their story is full of goddamn holes. Bitch is not telling me about that shit. Alright. So then what are our next steps? So now we know that they're trying to do this forbidden technology research. And have probably angered. I'm sure people, if it's ever found out, people will be angry. What are our steps? What do we need to do in order to prevent, kind of, to allow recursions to occur again? Like, what is this connected to that?
He kind of shakes his head and says, well, we'll need to know more about what went wrong with the process to be able to reverse it. So we're going to have to prise that information loose from the Unified Choir somehow.
We have to go back.
You gotta go back.
The way I see it, he says you have a few potential options before you. Though it's been a long time since I've worked in the field, so maybe you'll have a different approach. You could potentially use the information that you've gleaned as bargaining leverage and approach them straight up, and try to hold it over their heads to get the rest of the information that you need.
That seems mildly depressing.
You could attempt to force your way into the headquarters and extract the information that way via espionage. Or you could simply go to the council with the information and attempt to have them force the Unified Choir to open the investigation as a result.
What about this?
We can play dumb.
I mean, we can play dumb, but what are we going to get from that?
Right. I mean, we still, whether or not you use the information, we still need more of it to be able to reverse what happened here, or see if there even is a way of reversing it.
What if we work with the Church of the Embodiment?
He kind of scratches his chin at that for a second and says, well, the church does have some general animosity for the Unified Choir, given their general topics of research. But remember that the Unified Choir story about the church sabotaging them would seem to be fabrication here, given that the topic of their research wasn't what they said it was.
Oh, I believe that's what I'm saying. What if we try to team up with the Church of the Embodiment?
I mean, if you
Try to get more people in it.
if you float the information to them, and maybe just see if they have any kind of back channels into that they're using to spy on or interfere with the Unified Choir, it would be an interesting prospect. You could certainly attempt that, though whether or not the church would be willing to tip their hand for you, they would be opening channels to you that are generally best kept secret for their best interests. So you'd have to find a way to sweeten the pot for them. And other than that, unless you're planning on storming the building by force, I mean, you could try to convince the church to commit a large-scale, paramilitary force to cracking the Unified Choir's facility, but we call ourselves the Quiet Cabal for a reason. We'd like to avoid a full-scale war between factions if we possibly can.
Bring us a tank.
So
we did.
I still assume we can't go back to the blanking on their name. Stupid Quiet Chorus. Unified Chorus. I feel like we can't go back because their one condition was we go to them first, and somehow I feel like they're going to know that we didn't go to them first.
Shelimdar shrugs at that.
So, my vote is still not to go back to them, to find some other worker.
Yeah, the only real option we have than that is either sneaking in or going to the government.
There's got to be something. What's going to the government going to do? Let's say we run that. What are our outcomes looking like? We go to the council. We like the council. These guys are jerks.
If we go to the Fractal Council, there's always the chance that, they're like, well, and you guys are humans, so from Earth, so go eat a dick. We'll look into this, but you guys are be cut out from this. There's always the chance that we get, okay, thank you for the information, have a great rest of the day, we'll take this under consideration, and then get shown the door.
That's what I think will happen.
Shelimdar interjects there and says, well, we could lend some credence to the story by, if I offer to present the information and simply call you as witnesses. There might be some risk due to how the information was obtained, but again, the choir did offer you access to the facility. So it may have been under false pretenses. You did lie about your nature in order to get that information. But once they figure out, or once they find that the information is tenable, the potential ramifications of it, I think, will lead them to act. You're right. I understand what you're saying, Nick, or Agent Morse. The bureaucratic means can often, get bogged down. But again, this is something that is forbidden. So at the very least, it will sway the discussion about whether or not the Unified Choir should be allowed to continue to keep this a closed investigation. With myriad boots on the ground at the facility, and forcing them to turn over all their records and sweep all of their holdings, maybe we'll be able to find out what's going on here. The Factal Council does want to see the translation issue resolved as well.
There you go.
Are we voting Fractal Council?
I mean, if you guys are for it, yeah, we can go through that. It's just I feel there's a chance that we'll be like shown the door and then not be allowed to be anything further into this, and we're currently the only ones holding the estate interests in this, fight.
Yeah, that's sort of my concern. Even if there's credence to what's happened and things like that, they'll probably take us off of any future endeavors.
Shalimdar says that with the exclusion of, I would strongly caution against taking the information to the church, but with the exception of that, it's your op. You can make this play however you see fit, and we'll back you to the best of our ability.
Although, so if we take it to the council and they lock us out, then, I mean, our plan B would be just to try to sneak into the facility anyway. So, is it going to make it more difficult?
I guess that would.
I feel like if we're going it alone on half of these options anyway, we might as well try to get allies first. Always go it alone.
Yeah, I can see that. Plus, it also helps us with sneaking in if the council's breathing down their neck as a distraction.
Or they lock down even further and it gets harder to sneak in.
Which is why the other option was play dumb and try to creep closer to their organization without.
So go back and tell them that they're the first person we've told about this.
Yeah.
And play dumb and be like, this is what we found, but we don't know what it means.
That'd be the other option. I'm not sure it's the best one.
Well, we can use that as a way of getting, in with them, see if we can get more information. The arm guy, whose name escapes me at the moment.
I wrote it down. If you give me a second. Kahakura.
Yes, Curacao. If Curacao, he seemed like he was wanting to figure out what's going on. He might be willing to give us more information, at least keep us in the loop. We could always leave a copy of the research with Shalimdar, and then be the whole thing like, if you don't hear from us in 10 hours, send this to the council immediately, and then bring the cavalry.
All right, that's not a terrible plan. I'm willing to play dumb. I'm pretty good at it.
So you're
a natural, Floyd.
So you're going to walk me back through it one more time. What your general?
So we leave a
is?
copy of the information with Shalimdar,
Okay.
with instructions to go to the council if he doesn't hear from us and we don't call him off. And then we're going to take the primary information we heard, not the secret drive. We talk about how Al tried to get into the computer and destroyed it. We talk about the Variomorph, whatever, the faces guy. We talk about all that kind of stuff and what we found, and see if they'll give us more clues to their information, saying, "Hey, it did power up. The terminals were powered up, and this is what they were showing. That doesn't sound like what you were dealing with. Can you just be clear with us? We just want you to be honest with us. No one's gonna get hurt here. Just tell us the truth, and then see what they offer."
I'm willing to give it a go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that gives me a pretty good perception of where to go with it, and I think we'll call it here for next time.
Cool.
But thanks for coming out, everybody.
Of
fun.
course, bro.
Thanks for having us. Always fun.
Yeah, we did work today.
Now,
We
I
did
gotta-
work, and when Floyd almost died, so Nick's dream almost came true.
Right.
Boy, it's not done yet.
But I gotta sign off to go head home. But
Yeah.
thanks again,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thank you, Connor.
Give our love to the family.
Will do.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Peace out.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.